When you're carrying drugs across the border, the idea is to remain calm. The way I do it is to think of something pleasant. A fun party, moment of triumph, sexual encounter. I actually project myself to that place. A little transcendental meditation, if you will. The trick is to imagine every little detail. Anything to keep your mind off the fact that you're going to jail for a very long time if they find 15 kilos of blow in your suitcases.
Hey. What's the problem?
What?
With the car. What's the problem?
Just get out of my fucking face. Who are you?
We're still in the fucking car. What's it to you?
It's my car.
How you gonna die?
We heard shots. What happened?
I sent them a message.
So how you been?
Yeah, we ain't kids now.
Yeah. So what do you want?
What I've always wanted is to watch you die.
Oh, you ordered the meatloaf. The brisket's really good here, only you'll never know it. You fucked up.
Can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Well, you may throw your rock, hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut you down, tell him that God's gonna cut you down, tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
All right, buddies, Ron and Fez show. I'm on. There's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Earl, Johnny Cash from where?
That is new Johnny Cash.
How the hell's he doing this? He's been dead for some time.
Well, he did this shortly before he died.
Oh, before he died. All right, that makes all the difference because if it was after he died, Fez, you're looking at the biggest album of all time.
If it's after he died, that is a great performance.
If it's after he died, you'd be listening to that fucking thing with the speaker up to your ear looking for any kind of message.
Where was it recorded at?
Yes, but it's from his forthcoming album, American 5, which will be out on the 4th of July.
Yeah. Try to make this bigger for me so it looks really stupid if anybody else sees it. Thanks. All right, Ron and Fez show. Hanging out with you today. Fezzy, I'm looking up Spain had a big win today, right?
Spain beat the Ukraine 4-0 in the World Cup 2006.
All right, that'll teach the Ukraine. Start fucking around. What's happening right now?
Right now, you got Tunisia taking on Saudi Arabia. No score there. That game just started about 5 minutes into it.
Well, you know what I say, Fezzy? Let's go Tunisia. You know why?
Why's that?
9/11.
Oh, yeah.
I'm leaving it at that. 9/11. What's the afternoon game?
And then the afternoon game is Germany versus Poland.
All right,
One more time.
I got 6 million reasons to vote against Germany in this game.
So that's going to be at 3 o'clock. It'll be in English on XM Channel 148 and Espanol on Channel 147.
Why say Espanol? Because what Spanish guy who doesn't speak English at all is going to be listening to this show? Just going, I hear a bunch of words.
When he heard that Espanol, all of a sudden he just perked up. There's one I know.
Yeah.
There's a word.
The other thing he knows is every time you go, hey, hey. Fez, picture of you and your ghost. I guess, I told you I'd set everything up. It's on yours right now if you go to Fez 2000 AOL, your little place in the world. And I guess this picture is going to go up on ronfez.net. But we are keeping an eye. Fezzy claims he has a ghost. I got an email from a Ghostbuster today, too, Fezzy, who says he's 100% serious and wants to be there for you.
Oh, that's cool. So right now, I would like to make contact with the ghost instead of screaming every time I see him and making him disappear.
All right, did Eastside Dave stay at your house last night?
No, he did not.
All right, so that's yet another thing he lied to me about. So it's really starting to stack up. Jay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ron, I was wondering if it's true that the Saudis play in sandals.
Here's the thing. I'd be making all the Saudi jokes in the world except for one thing, Jay. 9/11.
What's that?
9/11.
It's like Jay forgot, and we said never forget.
Yeah.
And Jay went ahead and did it.
He forgot like he was the president. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. President's back from Iraq, right?
Yeah, he is back and walking tall for some reason.
Did he get that kill he was looking for? I know he said he wanted to take down an insurgent himself.
Did not pick off an insurgent. He was hoping to. All right, I see the picture of me and my ghost.
I guess this is why you were sleeping, huh?
Yeah, that's not my bed. Those are not my flowered blankets. And the ghost is Casper, smiling and waving over my fat head.
Is that what it looked like, though?
No, it didn't look anything like that. And for some reason, that's not my bedroom. I don't sleep on just a mattress. I have an actual bed that contains the mattress and box spring.
I thought that thing looked like a tweaker pad you had going on, just guys laying all over the place.
It does look like a flop house there. So this will be going up on ronfez.net. Do not believe your eyes, people.
It's when I first moved to New York, it was like 2000. And it was really, first of all, it's always hard to find an apartment in New York. At that time, it was during the boom. It was pre the election. We were still in the Clinton years. Everybody was making fat cash in this town. And I think there was still, remember the internet thing they had downtown that was like Silicon Alley, but it was something like, maybe that's what they were calling it.
That's
Silicon
what it was,
Alley,
yeah.
So there was all these .coms, all this fresh money. So the places were through the roof. I go to look at this apartment. It's downtown. It's actually right next to 9/11. I would have lived right next to Ground Zero. And if I would have taken this place, it's like 36th floor, big place. And it's like, I don't know, some crazy figure, $4,800, $5,000 a month. But the guys who were living in it must have been like Wall Street guys who were just like young guys, and there was a bunch of them. So there was no furniture as I'm walking around this place, and nothing but bare mattresses all over. So there had to be like 6 or 7 of them split in this crib and just sleeping on the floors, getting up and running back to Wall Street. And I'm saying to the realtor, I can't fucking focus in here. I can't feel like, oh, this is a great place. I'm going to pay fat cash for it. It looks insane.
It's the minimalist.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Me
but
neither.
It looked like a murder took place right before I got there. Like Charlie Manson and his kids would be hanging out. People are crazy the way they'll live. They don't care.
Yeah, I like the people that won't put the paintings or anything up on the walls, where they just kind of lean them on the floor.
That's a style thing. That's supposed to be a good thing. You'll go to a lot of galleries, and they even do that. So it's not that they don't have the money for nails, Fez. It's a look.
Oh, okay.
All right. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here's our buddy Pinch. What's happening, Pinch?
Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I want to be the first person to wish Fez a happy Flag Day today. I wonder if he has anything special planned, a catty moment or something like that.
What are you doing for Flag Day?
Well, I guess I'll have to raise a flag. I had no idea that it was Flag Day.
I think Pinchy's joke was going to be Fag Day, and then you yell, no, it's Flag Day. But, the callers aren't trained here. Let's face that, Earl. I want us both to focus on that before we move on. The callers don't quite get it yet. How to get to a joke.
Don't know the setup part of it.
I don't understand it. It's almost like they're JFK people. If you really look at it, they're almost as bad as JFK callers.
That's bad.
The high watermark, of course, NEW night callers. Those people fucking got it. They would do the setup. They would dish. They'd hit the three-pointer. They were amazing. Well, we want to get there.
And they were like the second unit on the B-ball team. They carry you for a couple of minutes, let your starters get some rest.
You know, it's a very good point. They were like a second unit on a movie where they would actually go out and shoot their own stuff and then bring it back in. All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ.
Representative Patrick Kennedy, he pleaded guilty yesterday to driving under the influence of prescription drugs, sentenced to undergo court-ordered drug treatment, years probation.
That's nothing for a Kennedy to do, Fez. That's a slap on the wrist for a Kennedy. First of all, those guys that say they're on drugs or drinking, it's like a Kennedy admitting that he's been breathing. You know that he's been drinking and doing drugs. You know why? Why you know? He was awake. If he's awake, he's partying. It's in his system. It's like saying to a wolf, did you kill that rabbit over there? Of course he fucking killed the rabbit. He's a wolf. That is the way that the Kennedys wake up in the morning, just like a wolf thinking about rabbits. That's them thinking about whiskey and pussy. They just hop up as hungry as the wolf.
Sending him to court-ordered rehab is like telling him to go home for lunch. He's just going to see his mom and the rest of the family there anyway.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. The Kennedys will persevere. There's nothing you can do about that, Fez.
So you think he'll bounce back?
Bounce back? It's not even nothing for him.
Yeah, we have some audio of him basically saying, I'm ready to move forward, and pretty much...
The real audio, if he'd be yelling, you know what my last name is? I'll fucking bury all you people. That would be the beauty of it. If he just says, look at my license. How would you like to carry this name around with you, knowing you got to outdrink everybody in every bar you go into?
The other part is he's like, we've killed people and gotten away with it.
He goes to AA. He might as well not even do the whole anonymous thing. He might as well just say, hi, my name's Kennedy. You know all my brothers and cousins.
AA should just change the name to the Kennedy Club. The Heat won Game 3 last night in the NBA Finals, beating the Mavs 98-96. Dallas still has a one-game lead, 2 games to 1 over the Heat in the series.
And, you know, here's the thing. The Mavericks had them. They had them laid out. It was over, and they didn't close the deal.
Couldn't finish it out, and then...
Well, again, give them some credit. We're playing in the finals. Like I've been saying all along, you have two teams that are pretty evenly matched. They stormed back. Wade had an incredible game. Shaq made a couple of important free throws. And we just couldn't get anything going offensively or defensively in the fourth quarter. So give them some credit.
Yeah, well... You know, the difference between a 2-1 game and a 3-0 is light years. It's light years. You had these guys laid out. Nobody has ever come back from being down 3-0. A lot of people have come back from 2-1. You got to focus now, boys.
Yeah, it seemed like the Heat struggled so much last night that this seemed like a barely win for them. And, you know, like, at the end of it...
You know what a barely win is, Fez?
What?
A win. You win the bad games, that means you're going to go on to become the champions. That's what happens. The bad guys, the champions, they win the games that they shouldn't have won. You had these guys laid out. This was up to the Mavs.
Ben Roethlisberger was supposed to shoot a Chunky Soup ad with his mom. That was scheduled for the day after he wrecked his motorcycle.
His mom's going to be running that Chunky Soup through a screen for him because he's going to be having soup. But forget the fucking Chunky for a while.
His mom was going to get to be the new Mrs. McNabb, the new Donovan McNabb's mother in these Chunky Soup ads for this coming NFL season.
Were they going to use his real mom or one of those... Hey, I'm an actress playing your mom.
Yeah, they find some big woman that looks like she's big. She could be Big Ben's mother. No, they were going to use his real mom in this.
What did Big Ben, what's his people have to say? Is he going to be back? Is he not going to be back?
Still too soon to tell when he could come back and play this season, so no one's even speculating on if he'll try to come back.
Here is Jack. Jack, you're on Ron and Fez.
2240.
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
Hey, Ron, you got a short memory. The Red Sox were behind 3-0 to the Yanks a couple years ago, and look what happened there.
Let me see where my memory is. Let's see when the Red Sox played in the NBA. Let me see.
NBA. You said any
Never.
team
In the history of the NBA Finals, no one has ever come back 3-0. Yeah, we all know that the Yankees went down like a house of cards. But that was, of course, baseball, and it was not the finals. It's a big, big difference. You don't understand the psychological game to this.
Not only that, you had it on the road, too. You had a chance to really cut their hearts out on their home court, and they just couldn't put the game away.
Insane. Just absolutely insane. I'm happy right now for the Kennedy family because they've been through enough in Dallas, and now this, this kid finally breaking his cherry.
So I guess they had to consider it some kind of victory.
Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Have you guys heard about the chunky soup curse?
No, I haven't heard about this one.
Yeah,
you eat it and you die.
I'm not going to be too much help. I'm not going to be too much help on this one, but I have heard people talking about the chunky soup curse. I mean, you look at Donovan McNabb, and the season before, or the season after he shot his ad with his mom, he broke his leg, didn't play. There's been a couple others, but yeah, it's out there. And when you said he was supposed to shoot that the next day, that blew me away.
Here's the curse. NFL players get hurt all the time, particularly if you happen to be a quarterback or a running back and you're involved in so many plays. So all these curses that are going around, look at how many guys that get hurt that aren't on the Madden game or shooting chunky things. You're lucky to make it through the season anymore.
I think if we look on the bright side of this, we were able to escape a Ben Roethlisberger chunky soup commercial that was going to play 1 million times once the NFL season started.
Yeah, because they're not going to replace that with somebody else, Fez. That'll just be what they're going to start doing is playing hit videos where that would have been.
I don't know if there's a good athlete who does a good commercial. Those Howie Long Radio Shack commercials, absolutely the worst. The only thing that may be worse is the Howie Long Ford truck commercials.
I TiVo, my friend. I see very little commercials. I see commercials going by like a bat. So they're foreign to me. You might as well be talking Espanol.
Liza Minnelli's ex-husband David Guest is being sued by his male assistant for harassment. He's claiming that David Guest grabbed his ass and that Guest would write lewd things on his calendar, including dip my penis in chocolate fudge today.
I don't know what to say. Is this big news in your part of the world?
Anyone shocked by this whatsoever?
I hear the name David Guest either from you or Mario on TV, and I have no idea who the guy is. I could not pick him out of a lineup.
He was Liza Minnelli's ex-husband and, of course, her ex-manager, too, before that.
All right, that brings me to another point. Liza Minnelli. Why would I be thinking about Liza Minnelli? What was it, 1972 that she won her Oscar?
Uh-huh, yeah. For Cabaret.
Was that Cabaret she won the Oscar for?
No, Chorus Line.
No, it wasn't either one of them.
It was Cabaret.
Cabaret, I thought she won the Tony for.
No, Sterling Cuckoo she won for, I believe.
Is what, the movie?
The movie she won her Oscar for, but
why did you yell it was Cabaret?
And I know it won Oscars. It was an Academy Award-winning film.
Let me ask you this: why are we mired down in this? Why are 3 adult males, 66% of us are straight, sitting here trying to figure out what Liza Minnelli won her Tony or Oscar for? I know there was some year that she won an Oscar, a Tony, and an Emmy all in the same year. And I know this because anytime she's ever been on a talk show, that's the way they bring her on.
That's her big introduction, and never anything since.
I wish it was my introduction. There was a fantastic year he had. He was just on fire.
And then you have to go to Rita Moreno to include the Grammy in that long list, too.
You honestly just brought up the name Rita Moreno. This is where my life is. Rita Moreno and Liza Minnelli talk.
Well, we'll see if David Guest wins this lawsuit or not.
Who?
David Guest.
All right, who is he?
He's her former husband and former manager. He's a little guy with a real tight face.
Here is Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I want to call out Black Earl over there for just rattling off Liza films like bang, 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 bang. He's got to be a phage, that guy.
I'm trying to think, other than the one with the drunk Dudley Moore, I don't know if I can name another. New York, she was in with De Niro, and that was just embarrassing. But it's always been like guys acting like, oh, I've got to find a way to pick up Liza Minnelli. In these films, it doesn't seem like it should be that difficult.
New York was the worst because, De Niro's just like this ultimate tough guy. He's just an awful human being. And he's going after Liza Minnelli like she's the only chick on earth.
Yeah, it's really hard to understand. It's like suddenly he turned into Fez for one film and got obsessed with Liza Minnelli. Now, why do you guys love Liza Minnelli, Fez? I know I can understand her mom, right?
Right, Judy Garland.
But why Liza? Liza with a Z.
Because she's like the heir to Judy Garland. So it's almost like if anyone was an
What about the other daughter, Lorna Luff?
Yeah, no one has time for Lorna Luff, big Lorna Luff.
Why, though?
She's just not out there enough. If she was...
Grease 2? That's not out there enough for you, Fez?
Not enough.
Where she played the 40-year-old high school student? It's not like Liza Minnelli's out there a lot.
She's just become a legend. And it's just it's a thing of where you see her and you see style.
Style? She cuts her fucking hair with a weed whacker. She looks like she wears her fucking pants up to her tits. There's no style there. I could see, like, when, Jackie O was old, you guys were like, oh, I'd like to be an old lady like that. But an old lady like Liza, she's on fucking two-and-alls. She's wearing stretch pants. That's not style.
That's the drama of her life that attracts people.
Here's Damien. Damien, you're on Ron and Fez.
Listen, boys. Liza may be the heir to Judy Garland, but Ron Bennington, you are like the heir to me. I cannot live without you.
See, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to get to that point. I don't want you people to start obsessing. Here is James. James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Morning, guys.
Yeah.
Earl's reference to the Sterling Cuckoo, isn't that sterile cuckoo?
I have no idea. I haven't seen the film. Earl?
I mean, I remember, I was sick once. I was like 6 I was on. And
now we're starting that shit. I accidentally read Cosmo.
No, I grew up.
My mom made me watch it.
The only thing that you should know about Liza is that the Yankees lose. Anytime you hear Liza singing, it means it's a loss for the Yankees. If they win, they turn it around and play Frank. That's got to hurt your feelings if you're Liza Minnelli. And didn't she do this song before Frank?
Yeah, I believe so. Cue up the loser Liza.
Here's Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli was great in Arthur 2 on the Rocks.
Oh, please. Talk about a movie that was literally stillborn. All right, great news for all the American patriots. Tunisia is up 1-0 over the 9/11 terrorists right now.
Nice. I have no idea where in the world Tunisia is, but way to go.
It's on the planet Earth, my friend. Look at that kick.
That was a great kick.
Right past him. Finally, some payback. Here is Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Fez, I got to tell you, I don't know where you're coming from when you say that Liza Minnelli is fashionable, because she's like the opposite of fucking Viagra. I mean, she is just repulsive. I mean, just horrendous. I mean, she should have... I totally agree with Ron. What the hell is that hairdo? I mean, seriously.
It looks like a person in trouble, is what it looks like.
Maybe she should have changed it over the past 60 years. Maybe it just doesn't grow, because it's no longer.
Yeah, she shaves it down. It's just looking crazy. It's a chemo look. Here is Rob. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I was just wanted to say that I know you're a fan of Arrested Development, Ron.
Right.
And she was on there, and she was actually pretty fantastic. She made fun of herself and whatnot. So.
She didn't have a choice. Her character was the older lady who's slurring and kind of disgusting next door. Yes, that was phenomenal. Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Hey.
I mean, let's face it. Liza Minnelli, a gay icon. Just like, I don't know why gay guys fixate on some of these women, like Marilyn Monroe, what have you. You can. It says, what's the list of women that gay guys adore?
All right, that's a good point. I know Jackie O was one of them, right, Fez?
Right, just all grace.
Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli.
Right.
Both. Who else do they love?
Cher.
Cher they're crazy about.
Yep.
Now, why is that?
Cher is, I think this also probably goes for Liza, too. Cher is a type of person who's not like a classic beauty. She's that person who's a little odd, a little different, and yet she's still hugely successful. She still succeeded, even though she's a little quirky and a little off-center.
I'm going to tell you something, Fez. The difference was, in her day, Cher was very fuckable. This thing that you're thinking now might be Cher as an old lady, but when she was younger, you know, Greg Allman fell off that fucking thing. So, you know, he screwed up a band over them. So she must have been working at the time. All right, give me another one that you guys love.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler. Now, what's the thing there?
Again, another misfit who's successful. Someone who doesn't fit in.
The sassiness.
Exactly.
She's baldry.
All attitude.
Okay, good. All right, we're getting the list going here. I actually should just go over to your house and look at the posters on the wall. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Barbra Streisand is a big draw for gay people, too, and I never really understood that.
What is that about, Fez? Barbra Streisand.
Barbra Streisand, again, the girl who shouldn't have succeeded but did.
How does she shouldn't have succeeded? She's probably had the best pipes on the planet ever.
Yeah, but she's not an attractive person. She's got that big nose, she's basically cross-eyed, and yet still came through.
All right,
she
Earl,
persevered.
I'm going to bring it back to you. Now, think of Barbra Streisand at the time of, like in the 70s. Bangable?
Yeah, definitely bangable.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if Fez understands when he's acting like these people shouldn't have made it. A lot of them have a ton of talent. You know, Bette Midler, ton of talent.
Was she married to Elliot Gould at one point or something like
Elliot Gould? Yeah, she was. She was. Here's Andy. Andy, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up? What about Judi Dench? See ya.
I don't believe I'm having this conversation. Judi Dench work for you, Fez?
Yeah, I think Judi Dench falls into that, but I think that's more of an Anglophile thing, where it's just people attracted to people named Dame.
No, what's Anglophile? Does that mean you only blow English guys? What's that fucking mean? I don't follow the whole thing.
Just kind of obsessed with the British, especially the royal family.
Nick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ron and Fez. This is Sarah Jessica Parker's another one of them. But what I think Fez is missing is I think he's missing that they fixate on women who, with a little alteration, could be men.
Interesting. All right, so they're kind of guyish. They almost look like they're drag queens.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And then, you know, the good thing, too, about Sarah Jessica Parker is she'll be a beard for you, too. So that's a nice thing for a gay guy. You would be able to take her home, and your mom would somehow believe it. All right, interesting. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing, Ron and Fez?
Yeah.
I love Madonna. I don't know. That just seemed to... me and all my friends, Madonna, that's it. Madonna.
All right, gay guys love Madonna, right?
Indeed.
No matter what she does, no matter what Madonna character we get.
Love her. Everyone from the virgin to the whore.
Now, what is it about her, though? Because that goes against Fez's thing. She was, you know, very, very hot in her time.
Again, I think it's got to do with she's the misfit. She doesn't fit in. She's just sexy. She's spunky. We love her.
All right, so you agree with Fez on the misfit gimmick?
Misfits, all the way.
All right, so Fez, you and Chris, you're shoulder to shoulder on the misfit. Gay guys love misfit women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. It's because it's like, all right, there's a girl who probably got called ugly or different in school, you know, may have grown into some sort of beauty, but was probably singled out, was probably awkward as a child, and everyone can relate to that.
I can't. Now, to me, this seems like it's a reflection of your fatty pneumonia, where you were taunted as a youngster, and then maybe you thought, one day I'll grow up and I'll be on Broadway and I'll show them all.
All I had was my records.
Yeah. Earl, look around there. There should be a 38. Put 6 bullets in it and give it to me. I'm going to shoot myself in the forehead.
Do not give him a gun.
Earl, get me the 38. I'm blowing my fucking brains out today.
No gun.
Then we're out of bullets.
Here's Alvin. Alvin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez, how y'all doing?
What's up, buddy?
Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg?
I didn't know Whoopi Goldberg was a gay icon.
Let me check with Earl. Is that for black gays?
I've never heard that she was a gay icon before.
And gay guys, they don't seem like they like guys, huh?
No, not many gay guy icons whatsoever.
Why is that? You would think that's what you would find attractive and into.
Yeah, and even this thing isn't even so much, it's more of a hero worship with the women than it is any sort of, oh, I think she's beautiful, or, you know, anything to do with looks. It's more of a hero worship deal.
I couldn't be more lost right now. It's more of a hero worship deal. So you picture yourself as her. You're like, when you watch her, you say to yourself, I'm Bette Midler on that stage. That's me being sassy and crazy up there. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm so lost. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, seems like all the gay guys, they like Princess Di, and then don't forget Mesa and their big black ass.
All right, Princess Di, Fez?
Yeah, totally Princess Diana. Just, you know, the whole princess thing, the Cinderella story.
And what about Mandisa? Are they into her?
Mandisa, yeah. Mandisa's a huge icon.
Baby got back. Mandisa got a big black ass.
That in black. We got back.
I'm very confused. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Fez is pulling back the velvet curtain today and trying to explain to us why they're into what they're into. And you like these ugly duckling women, right, Fez?
Yep.
That become big stars, and then they're what? They're telling the world to kiss their ass or just...
That's exactly it. It's the entire attitude of, I'll show them one day, and these women actually did it. The Sarah Jessica Parkers, the Bette Midlers.
Now, there's some people that you wouldn't even expect, like Debbie Reynolds fits into that. She's got a lot of gay fans.
Yeah, she has a lot of gay fans, and I think that's because... And so does Doris Day.
Doris Day does?
Yeah, Doris Day, Debbie Reynolds, they're gay icons like in that same vein. And I'm not sure why on them.
And then the other actress who ended up becoming Gary Spivey and seeing things on the other side.
Oh, Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah, now what's her story? Why do people like her?
Because she's an oddball. She's into reincarnation. She says what she feels. She has beliefs that she's going to just push on everybody. She just doesn't care. That's one of the things that makes you a gay icon, when you just don't care and you're all out there.
Huh. Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got one for you. How about Celine Dion and Black Earl's Nigger Dick?
Earl, did that one make you laugh at all?
White people are so scared of black people.
Not at all.
JFK callers. I'm telling you right now, they're as witty as JFK callers. Here is Patrick. Patrick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you doing?
Yeah.
I was saying that it's weird that all these women Fez keep mentioning they all seem like they look like men at one point in time.
So they almost look like cross-dressers, Fez.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, there's a big tranny thing that comes across there, a big tranny vibe.
Even though they're not trannies, they could be. Like maybe with some spit and shine and a little bit of makeup, you too could look like them.
Someone needs to fix these phones so Ron and Fez can do their show. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Why won't Wiki fix the telephones? Why won't Wiki? Why won't Wiki? How can you build a pyramid without the callers calling in? How can you give out a big ass prize to losers like me who have no life? The Ron and Fez show on XM radio. Ron and Fez show on XM radio. Fez show 202 channel 202. Every fucking time they get something good going.
All right, there we go. The phone's shut to bed for a minute, but they should be coming back up in a few moments. All right, Fez is explaining to us right now how the gay icon thing works. And I had no idea about this. I knew, like, some people had big followings. Fezzy, how come we can't get you to that point? I've never noticed in all the times we've done the Ron and Fez show, we've ever had a gay following. Or not even so much of like a gay magazine wanting to do a story on us.
Maybe I'm just not stylish enough. Maybe I'm too much of a, plain Jane. Maybe that's the problem.
You want us to get you a stylist fucking makeover?
Yeah, let's do that.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Why does Fez... Fez? Hello?
Yes?
Do you want a denim jacket with Mickey Mouse on it? Because a lot of gay guys like Disney.
What's that all about, Fez?
That I didn't know. That one's new to me. I'm sorry on that one.
You have a denim jacket with Mickey Mouse on it?
I have one.
Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how about Joan Jett?
Joan Jett, no, she's loved by the lesbians.
Yeah, that's not a gay icon.
She shows up at every New York WNBA game, and the place goes crazy for her. And then she'll sit there in front of everybody, shave her head. Shave her head while she's watching a ball game. Let's see. Kathy Griffin, loved by the gay guys. This is on Ron and Fez at AOL.com. Very good point, she is.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to Ugly Duckling. That also goes back to the drag queen theory, where Kathy Griffin is someone that if a guy was going to be a drag queen, he'd probably dress like her.
Why even say duckling? Why not just say ugly and leave it at that?
Yeah, and that's not... Duckling seems to imply that grew out of it.
Yeah, right. Just an ugly duck would be better.
You big ugly duck?
Ugly middle-aged duck might be a better way to put it. All right, who are the comics that they love? They love Margaret Cho.
Oh, yeah. Yep, totally, probably Louis Anderson.
No, Louis is a male, so that would not fit into that. And the other one, that has her daughter, and they do the red carpet.
Oh, Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers they love. Earl's a big Joan Rivers fan.
She's wonderful.
Maybe you're... Rick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, why are all these women that Fezzy you're talking about that are gay favorites, icons, why are they all over 60 or dead?
A lot of them are elderly. They do love the elderly. The dead, everybody likes the dead. There's nothing better than having a dead hero because then he can't fucking disappoint you. He can't suddenly make a really bad album or a stupid movie.
Yeah, and like Betty Davis or something like that, you can always remember her in her heyday then instead of, if she got wheeled out to do some sort of interview.
Yeah, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here's Kevin. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I'm a big comic guy, and for some reason the gay guys love Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman? What do you guys love about Wonder Woman? I would have also thought this would have been a lesbian icon.
No, Wonder Woman, gay icon. It's the crazy outfit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really loud and proud outfit that you would wear. And she's just a big hero. She's going to kick ass.
I don't know. I don't know if that one fits in there. I'm not sure Wonder Woman. I think she would be a lesbian hero.
She could probably go both ways, but I think it's the boots that make her a gay icon.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
Say, Ronnie.
Yeah, Fez.
Did you see where a German tabloid is making fun of soccer star David Beckham's sister for being fat?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I feel so bad for Joanne Beckham, or as she's known at World Cup, Group B. Yes, she's a big girl, but I don't think there's any truth to the rumor that if England wins the World Cup, she's going to try to eat Haagen-Dazs out of it. Of course, it doesn't help when any large woman shows up in a town called Frankfurt. It seems like she's just there for the hot dogs. Am I right or am I right, Ronnie?
Right as rain, Fezzy boy, right as rain.
But it's not fair to make fun of her fat clothes. Sure, Bratwurst doesn't wear their casings that tight, but she can't help it. She wants to buy something more comfortable to wear in Germany. She's just not sure which model Volkswagen to buy. I say shame on this German newspaper. Let's keep it to soccer. And if you're going to run the headline, bend it like Beckham, don't show the stadium bleachers where she was sitting.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
I say bad form, Fezzy, to bring people's families into it. This woman didn't sign up or enlist herself into the job of being Beckham's sister. She's just his relative, and she's going to the games.
Yeah, they're attacking her. They're attacking his mom.
They attacked the kids.
Yeah.
They called them dwarfs. The kids are 7 and 3. They can't help it if they haven't grown yet. It's very, very, to me, Beckham, he goes out there and he plays the other team and the other cities. I can understand taking shots at the guy. The wife, you know what? She's got a singing career. She's going to get some shots taken at her. The sister, the mom, and the kids, bad form.
Here's a picture of the sister.
Oh, boy.
Oh, she's big. She is a biggin.
Let me see. I'd still do her, though.
And the headline that they ran with her is they called her Fathom instead of Beckham. Or Fat Ham. One or the other. Either way, it's cruel.
I do her doggy style while I was watching the World Cup on TV. And when I'm done, I'm like, why don't we go over to Beck's house? See what's happening there.
She's like the Janis Soprano of the Beckham family here.
Yeah, it's not easy on her. Not easy at all.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
Say, Ronnie.
Oh, yes, Fez.
Did you hear that Britney Spears says she loves Kevin Federline because of his simplicity?
Yeah, I did hear something about that.
That must be a lot of love because you can't get any more simple than K-Fed. See, he even simplified his name. That's so he could be able to spell it. Yes, he's a simple man, much in the same way Forrest Gump was. Brittany, you could drop your baby on his head a dozen more times and he'd still be smarter than his father. Hear me, Ronnie?
Like a bell, Fezzy, like a bell.
After all, how much brains does it take to remember to put on a white beater and a sideways baseball cap every single day? K-Fed also has a simple plan. 6 p.m., get up. 7 p.m., get high. 10 p.m., ask Brittany for money. Midnight, start pretending to be a rapper. Love him for all his simpleness, Brittany. If he was any more simple, scientists would have to classify him as single-celled.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
Fezzy, you've never been a big K-Fed fan? Doesn't work for you?
Not a K-Fed fan in the least.
You got to understand where the kid's coming from, though. He just hit the jackpot. It's, he scratched off a lottery winner. Why wouldn't he get up every day, get high, and spend money?
I think the Britney Spears Dateline interview with Matt Lauer is going to be this Thursday night.
You got to give him credit for this. He keeps that girl just filled with sperm. She is pregnant constantly. There's not a lack of sperm over there.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be no getting rid of this guy. Because they're constantly going to be going into labor or bringing a baby home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Just about every day of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something. So they're going to keep beating on these two until they finally break and get a divorce, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is inevitable.
Give me an over-under, Fez. Give me that radio psychic that you're known for.
Radio psychic. Radio psychic.
Let's see. She's probably due in the fall sometime. Give it a year from now, Ronnie.
Year from today.
Year from today.
Next Flag Day, and according to Fez, it's over. K-Fed is out of the house.
It'll be a red flag for K-Fed. He will be gone at that point.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
I say, Ronnie.
Yeah, Fez.
Did you hear Paris Hilton says she's now single for the first time in her life?
I don't know. All your stories are starting to run together on me.
Paris claims it feels great to not be dating. I bet it does, Paris. For the first time in 20 years, you woke up without your vagina hurting. That's gotta feel great. The good news is that the number of STDs in Los Angeles County have already drastically dropped. The bad news is, so has the future for the internet porn industry. With me, Ronnie?
Barely this time, Fez.
Paris says she's learned that she can be on her own. Yep, just her and her billion-dollar hotel fortune against the world. You go, skank! Paris, I think you're gonna have a boyfriend again real soon. Someone will come along. Another Greek shipping heir, some guy that Mary-Kate Olsen is currently dating, or even your favorite, anything with a dick.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
Fez, finally, somebody takes this Paris Hilton down a peg. You gave her the what, huh?
Oh, yeah, she needed it.
The only place that I disagree with you is when you said that she woke up with her vagina hurting. That thing hasn't hurt since the 8th grade, and that's even going late. I'm going to say the summer going in to the 8th grade is the last time she was tight.
She said she's never been without a boyfriend. I'm sure she was looking at other rich little boys in kindergarten.
Well, you know, she's doing okay for herself. She's got a big hit album. How's that thing moving? Earl, just leaving the stores?
It's not even in the stores yet. They're trying to figure out when to put it out.
Well, she's out promoting the single.
Yeah, this is it. Stars is Blind.
All right, let's take a listen. Earl, we got to pull that down. I just got an email here from corporate that says we can't play that on XM because every time we do, people driving just start to head right into other cars. They will literally just pick out another car and ram into it.
Well, safety first here at XM Satellite Radio.
That's right, safety first, Fezzy. You can't be safe enough. All right, now who else is going down, Fez? Who else you taking on?
Oh, that's all my catty moments for the day.
You ever notice there's only 3 every time? It's like a 3 thing with you.
Oh, yeah. I think 3's enough. The 1, 2, 3 punch, I like to call it.
Not Daryl and Monica. All right, here is Ray. Ray, you're on Ron Fez.
Hi, guys. I was also on the subject of the drag queens. I was watching I Want a Famous Face, and MTV had this dude who wanted to look like Jennifer Lopez. He actually went so far to he became a woman in the process. I mean,
you know what? There's another J-Lo you guys like too, Fez. Let's face it, you like any fucking starlet. It seems like gay guys like starlets.
Anyone who's like bigger than life, you know, with their lifestyle.
What if somebody was just the same size as life? Would you like them?
Not good enough. Not big enough. That's too small. That's life size. Who wants life size?
It's all going to be a big dream.
Can I say something real quick?
Fez, would you ever think about having not done the reconstructive surgery? Why don't we do that when you do your makeover?
No, that's going to hurt.
We just do all new Fez.
What would I even have done? I don't even see anything that I need done.
Let's even switch your name.
Change my name.
Yeah.
From Fez Watley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What would I change it to?
Todd.
That's a stupid name.
Too gay? Hi, I'm Todd.
That's ridiculous.
Seriously, you're right. That is a gay name when you think about it, Todd.
It's just a stupid name, and I wish it was stricken from the record books.
When's Big Brother starting, Earl? I'm getting obsessed.
They're going to name the 20 housemates on June 21st.
First of all, there can only be 12 housemates, Earl. So how would they name 20?
I'm sorry, you're right, 12. They're going to name the 12 All-Stars on the 21st. It's Big Brother's All-Stars.
All right, what's today?
Today is the 14th?
We're not going to be in D.C. doing this, are we?
No.
Because I need to be sitting in front of a TV watching them going into the house and finding out who starts to hook up with each other.
Big Brother 7 starts on July 6th, Thursday night on CBS.
Wow, that seems late. Is it late this year? Well, I guess they always get a late start like that.
Yeah, I think they always start around the 1st of July.
I like my summer shows to start at the beginning of summer. I got very little to watch this summer, too, so I need a lot of Big Brother.
Hell's Kitchen started this past week. Had some decent ratings. I think it was 3rd in the networks.
That's not too good. 3rd that night or 3rd for the week?
No, 3rd for that night.
That's awful.
Got beat by the CBS sitcoms.
Is there only 3 big networks?
Yeah.
So that's not good ratings when you finish 3rd out of 3. That's disappointing. You don't get a bronze medal for a 3-man race unless you start, throwing WB in there, and then you're like, well, they finished last.
Oh yeah, then it's nice not to be 5th.
Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Mr. B, I just wanted your opinion. I think that might have been one of the best Fezatorials I've heard.
You know what? The Fezatorials do seem like they're getting better, Fez.
That's not a Fezatorial. That's Catty Moments.
What do? Write these up at home?
What? Write them up?
That was off the top of your head?
Well, some.
Here's Jeremy. You're on Ron and Fez.
There's an outline,
What's
of
up,
course.
buddies?
Yeah.
I think Bebe Neuwirth is a big gay icon. Her and her Broadway set.
I don't know. She's a big icon for me. There's something about her. Something about her I can't quite put a finger on. If I did, they'd arrest me. Here's Ken. Ken, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you guys were talking earlier about gay people liking Disney.
Maybe we were, Ken. Maybe we were.
Maybe. Well, me and 2 friends 2 years ago, I was 15, we went to Disney World, and we didn't
making
know,
out?
But apparently it was gay day, and everybody, I mean, the parades and everything, the princesses were all men, and the princes were all women, and cross-dressing, and
Inside
it
Disney?
was the most frightening thing. Sorry?
Inside Disney, they had that parade?
It wasn't a parade. It was 3 days where, I mean...
Oh, just walking around.
And there was, for instance, there was a Mormon at the customer service thing screaming fire and brimstone, sounded like that Phelps lady about how evil they were and like Sodom and Gomorrah were going to be struck from the earth and everything.
Now, so is that when you came out, Ken? During this trip to Disney?
Not quite. I'm still 17, but I think I actually saw Fez there.
Yeah, you can't be gay at 17. All right, Ken. Best love. Be yourself, buddy.
All right, you too.
Be yourself. Fez, you're looking for an assistant, aren't you?
Always. A capable, young assistant, a real go-getter. Totally. There was that Alabama church that used to protest gay days at Disney in Orlando. They don't even do that anymore. They kind of like declared victory. Well, we made our point after 10 years of protesting it, and they don't even show up anymore.
Hey, Gary, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Buddies, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, earlier, Black Girls made 2 definitive statements that were both wrong. The Liza Minnelli and the Oscar and the Big Brother. I must award 1 point to Team Watley for that.
First of all, if I got into why Team Bennington wins today, I'd never stop screaming. I actually had an angry night last night, Fez.
Yeah?
Because that redheaded stepchild of yours. And, believe it or not, Earl covering for him.
Really?
So, yeah, it looks like the redhead has drug himself into a pit, but Earl, trying to be the good guy, trying to be the straight-up guy, may find himself in trouble over this. Earl, have you learned a lesson?
Don't stick your neck out for redheads. And keep your mouth shut. Definitely.
I'm probably going to have to take this upstairs afterwards. It's nothing to do with what happens on air here. And do I seem a little cranky today, Fez?
A little bit, sure.
I'm fucking cranky. And I've tried to spare you of this, but I'm furious. I've been furious since I came in. All of us are going to talk about it after the show. But I am so mad at this kid right now, I can't even fucking see straight. And Earl, with you, I'm merely disappointed because you know better. You know better than to protect him. He can't be protected.
No, I'm mad at myself.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep at all last night.
Earl, don't get dragged down.
You didn't sleep at all, but I bet he slept like a baby, like a retarded baby. He just sat there, he filled his baba up with whiskey, and just sucked on it.
I don't even know what he did, but the guilty always sleep fine.
Because you're never going to stop being mad. And I was going to call you with this last night, and I think, no, you got your little heart problems. Let me try to protect you. Because if I would have told you last night, you might have fallen on the floor dead. And then I couldn't have reached you, because you're on the other side of a river.
You could get a car, go over the bridge, and come get me. The river's not going to stop you if you really wanted to get there.
But you see what I'm doing here? It's just becoming more and more things that I have to do. And I'm trying to tell you guys, I feel like with the three of you right now, I'm dragging around a fucking a bag full of cinder blocks. And today it stops. I'm not fucking going over the bridge to get people's heart attacks. I'm not protecting Earl. I'm not going to sit here and lecture this redheaded bastard over and over and over for stuff that I already talked to him about, Fez.
Oh.
And so did you. You and I were together telling him the way the world works.
All right, now I'm pissed off and I don't even know what it is because the thing I'm constantly screaming at him is, why don't you listen? Anytime he's being told something, he's talking right through it, or you see his crazy pale eyes spinning in circles, so you can tell that he's not even listening to you. I'm pissed already.
It's going to be one of those stabbings. It's like 117 times because the person couldn't stop. Even after the corpse was long dead, you're still stabbing. That's where I am with that.
That's the thing that the prosecutor always decides to act out in the courtroom, just so the jury sees how long it takes to stab someone 117 times.
When I'm there, Fez, and he's showing the way I was stabbing, and the prosecutor is just acting out the way I was stabbing David over and over, I'm going to be cackling with some mad, evil laugh. That's how happy I'll be. I will literally yell out, I did the right thing. And I honestly think after the murder takes place, after I put all the evidence out there, the jury not only is going to find me innocent, but his family's going to have to pay me money. Wow. That's where I will be with this. His family will have to move out of their house and let me move a cat in there that I want to keep into that home of theirs in Spring Lake.
The first killer in judicial history to win the civil suit.
I feel like I deserve it. And no, Fez, I'm not going after you. I'm going to hire a Jamaican maid for you to watch over you. So when you're having your nightmares and your agita that you call heart attacks, and time again, that I will be at peace with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm going to send you away to some farm like rich people do with retarded kids. Wherever the DuPonts throw their inbred, hideous babies, I'm going to send you there. You're going to get 3 hot meals a day, and you're going to get pudding and fudge and whatever you fuckers like to eat, and everything. You'll shit yourself, and everything will be great. And I won't have to hear about it. I'll come by at Christmas.
The pudding and getting to shit myself is hard to turn down, but don't send me away to Retard Farm.
It's with the DuPonts, though. It's going to be nice.
Oh, I'm sure it's luxurious.
Yeah. You'll be staying in the beautiful Beaver Valley in Delaware. It's going to be gorgeous.
I'm sure that they're shitting through satin diapers there, but don't send me away from you.
I'm telling you right now, Fez. I can't go on. And Earl, I thought you were there for me. I thought you were the guy to protect me.
I don't like this betrayal thing that I'm hearing, Earl.
Well, you know, I don't see it as betrayal. I think it's stupid enough to try to save a drowning man.
I was trying to be nice.
I know you were. But at most, you put a pole out there and let him try to come in for it. You don't dive in the water with him.
I don't stick my neck out from nobody anymore.
We'll see what happens. Because this one might have to go all the way up the scales. And it's nothing here's what makes me mad. It's nothing he did here on the air. It's all the off-the-air stuff that he shouldn't even be caught up with. It's nothing even about his job. His job, he does it poorly, but, you know, it's not going to cost XM any problems. It's just a bad job. That's fine.
I know he's been warned about any sort of extracurricular activity.
Well, that's what it was.
I know you and I have both sat him down and gotten just hand-to-God reassurances that this wasn't going to, swearing on baby Jesus type reassurances that this sort of thing wasn't going to happen.
He lied to me last night as he swore to God. As he swore to God something didn't happen, as I brought it up to him, he admitted that it did. And then goes, well, I thought it would be... well, the last thing I wanted to do was bother you. And then, Earl, you knew all about this.
Yeah, I knew. I tried to minimize the damage as much as I could.
Where do I have to find out? At my own home?
I made an extreme error in judgment.
My home. Where my wife sleeps and my children come to play with their toys. Earl, I need you on top of things.
I was trying to do that.
You got to be like Alfred in Batman. You ever see Batman say to Alfred, Alfred, you knew about this and you didn't tell me? You're fucking working with the Joker and you never even call me up and tell me?
Oh, I didn't want you to know that there was a big toy box ready to explode at police headquarters.
Here's the beauty of it, Earl. You will weather the storm. You'll probably be in another one of your secret probations. I don't know if the other guy will. I do not know if the other guy's going to weather the storm. I'm not even talking to him, Earl. Turn your head and ask him if he slept like a baby last night.
He said no.
What's your name, Mateo?
He's lying. I bet he went out like an infant.
Probably had a big fat sandwich, too, before he went to sleep.
He has a sandwich at night. He soaks it in ether, so every bite just makes him sleepier and sleepier. In the meantime, there's Earl back and forth going, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have a gig.
You know,
so I'm annoyed today.
Gig.
I am annoyed. Not going to lie about that one, Fezzy.
You don't have to.
Hey, Matt, you're on Ron and Fez. Mateo.
Hi, guys. This is like when your girlfriend's mad at you and you don't know why. What happened? What went on?
You know, I'm not going to even bring it up because here's the thing. Me and Fez should not even be involved in this.
But it's frustrating.
Yeah,
We're listening, man.
I know. You'd like to think that this is page 6 and you're going to be able to go through it all. It's like one of those blind items that Fez does. It's a blind item. What stupid, crazy redhead, pale motherfucker goes and puts his career in jeopardy again?
Just asking.
Oh, and what black producer is he trying to drag down with him? Named Earl. What black producer named Earl is getting caught up in this guy's bullshit?
Earl, why would you climb in that rowboat when knowing so many holes are in it?
Frankly, I want.
Did you see yourself as a father figure? Like maybe I can help.
Somewhat. You know, you try to. It's like the retarded brother you try to look out for. But
who ends up killing you in his sleep?
Exactly. I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake.
I'm telling you right now, there's nothing stronger than a drowning deathlock, Fez. A drowning deathlock will take you down like nothing else.
Oh, they'll grab you around your throat, around your head.
They'll pull you under.
Yeah, they'll use every appendage of theirs. They'll use arms and legs to make sure you're going down, too.
And, Earl, what this is like is while he's got you in the drowning man's thing and he's taking you under, he's also trying to bang you in the ass on the way down. Just to make it even more uncomfortable.
Was there ass blood in the water, Earl?
What can I say? I made an enormous mistake.
Just answer his question, Earl.
Was there ass blood in the water?
Simple enough question.
No.
He's going to ask you again, Earl. And I want you to think about it before you answer.
Because what's that going to do?
Ask again, Fez.
Was there ass blood in the water?
Yes. Yes, there was.
Hang on.
I thought so.
Attracting more ass sharks.
I thought there was. Hey, Big John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how y'all guys doing? Glad I found you again. Hey, Ron, do me a favor. You blame the jerk who screwed up. You don't blame Earl. Earl just tried to help.
You know what? The jerk who screwed up, I'm not even looking at right now.
Well, he needs to walk out the room right now. Earl is a good guy. Earl's been with you a long time. He's always been there when you needed him. You know you can just take Earl aside and tell him, look, you can't be covering for these dudes. Let these dudes take their own heat. That's all you say to Earl. But that other jackass, you're just taking tell a fuck to walk.
Big John, the way I'm taking this from what I've figured out so far, it's like the house was on fire and Earl let Ronnie sleep in the bedroom.
You know what? I'm gonna say that Big John is probably closer to the truth than not. Everything that Big John's saying is true. What all Earl is guilty of is trying to clean up somebody else's mess and not let me and Fezzy know about it.
Ron, Fez, when y'all have a chance, y'all come down and do the Gleason's gym, see us wrestle for a while. Bring Earl with you. We like him. Keep the jerk out.
All right, what's happening at Gleason's gym?
We having a wrestling match there tomorrow night.
Who's all wrestling?
Just messing around and everything. Just getting us tuned up for the big show.
All right, you, Big John, you're wrestling?
Yeah.
What name do you wrestle under?
I am the One.
The One?
Yes, I'm called the One.
Fez, you ever think about getting back into the ring again, like the old days?
Oh, I've thought about it time and time again, pulling on those old sassy boy tights.
What about the Stennet Warrior? You go in there as the Stennet Warrior.
As long as I'm in a league where the heart punch is illegal, I think I could still hold my own.
Yeah.
I'm more of a low flyer. I will come off that bottom rope at your ass, man.
My finishing move is the reverse figure 4.
You are probably the only low flyer I've ever seen work the ankle area. Most of the people, they're worried about going up top. You stay down low, though.
Oh, yeah. I won't go above that bottom rope. I will make sure I am coming off that first turnbuckle with as much force as I can muster.
All right, thanks a lot, Big John.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right, see you later. Earl, Big John is right. Big Bad John. You're only guilty of one thing, trying to be a stand-up guy for them. My thing with you last night is telling you, I don't want you caught up in it. That's what Earl and I were kind of arguing about. Like, I'm telling him, Earl, you have to protect yourself. If this guy does not give a shit about this, how long have you been in radio, Earl?
17 years.
17 years without even the smallest bit of success. And now that there's maybe an odor of success somewhere down in his future, why shouldn't he follow that, Fez? Why shouldn't he have his nose in the air and start sniffing around and trying to follow that?
Don't be self-defeating, Earl.
Gotta trust myself. And me only.
Dave, you're on Ron and Fez. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, hey, this is Dave the trucker.
Okay.
Hey, wouldn't Fezzy actually be the stent warrior and not the Stennet warrior?
Fez, what would be the best way to call yourself? Are you stented once you've had the stent put it in?
Yeah, I've been stented because there's a stent in me.
But that's a noun, right? A stent is a noun.
Yeah.
So can something be stented?
I think it can, because a stent is, as a noun...
But they don't say we're going to stent you.
No.
So how could you be stented? That's where I'm lost.
Yeah, because the stent is a noun, and I guess it means, making a device to make an opening. So you could totally be stented if you make it into a verb.
If you make, you've got to, but you don't get stent. We're going to stent you tomorrow. That's how it would be a verb.
Yeah, I haven't had a doctor say anything like that.
Try to get him to.
Are you going to stent me again?
What did you do to me? No, make him say it.
Oh, okay.
Make him go, what exactly did you do to me? And get him to say, well, all we had to do was stent you.
What do you call the procedure?
That's if your health care has been worked out, has it?
I haven't heard. I call every day now. And I got doctors' offices that say they're going to talk to insurance companies that say they're going to talk to human resources.
No, once you get this straightened out, no way you're going back to that doctor, right?
No, I can't.
You got to get a new doctor.
Yeah.
Because he, to me, if I even see this fucking guy anyway, I'm going to kick him till he's dead. Because don't act like we don't have money. The guy had a little insurance snafu. But you should have taken him in and then later he gives you the money. What's the big deal?
Yeah, I mean, what if this had been an emergency where I had to have this done?
What happens then? Are they forced to?
I think then they actually have to do it. And they would, have to do it at a hospital or something, not in his office.
All right, Tom is going to help us out here. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yes, I'm a physician in Arkansas, and
physician in
is
Arkansas.
used as a verb frequently in the medical field.
No, to be a physician in Arkansas, junior college?
No.
You got to go the full way, just like you were going to be a physician anywhere else.
That's right.
Wow.
So, yes, we commonly use that as a verb, and one would be stented, or one would be, a stent could be placed as a noun or a verb.
Now, how did you end up becoming a doctor there? Were you driving out to L.A., and then in your nice car you hit a picket fence, and they forced you to stay in the town for a while?
No, actually, my family's been here for generations, and I work with my father in the medical field.
But now you got the opportunity to get out.
If you wanted to, you could, yeah.
So what you're saying is you live in Arkansas because you want to.
That's right.
This is great. This is an amazing interview to be part of. Yeah.
How many of your patients, Dr. Tom, how many of your patients ask you to look at like a hound dog of theirs or something else that they bring in while you're examining them?
That would be very rare.
You know what? I'm going to ring the cowbell here because I met a guy I never thought I would. What do we got in that prize closet?
We got an autographed copy of the book Haunted, signed by the author, Chuck Palahniuk.
Do you read it all, Dr. Tom?
Yes, quite a bit.
Well, you're going to love this guy, all right? First story, you're going to never stop throwing up, and then after that, you'll pull it back together. All right, here he is. This is a doctor in Arkansas, and he's there because he wants to be.
That's right. You should visit.
What an amazing story. Hold on. Even the Clintons got out of Arkansas the first fucking chance. Do you know neither one of them has ever been back since they left?
Just in the rearview mirror and never a second thought.
He was governor of that state for 63 years. Wow. The second he crosses the state line, never went back. They picked up a place in New York after D.C.
You'd think thered be some friends or something they'd want to at least visit. Nothing.
Did I tell you it's Arkansas?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Tom's going to love this book by Chuck Palahniuk. No one's going to want to borrow it from him.
Here's Jay. Jay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, is stent code in the gay world for penis?
Fez, I'm sorry you have to hear stuff like that.
Thank you. Stent is stent.
Because you can't let someone put a penis in your heart, right?
No.
I mean, even you know that.
Yeah, that's just going to clog it up all the more.
Ugh.
I don't think enough blood's going to run through that thing.
We're going to take a break here. We're right back. It's Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Ron and Fez show. I don't know what's happening in the other room. Dave, your mic is turned on. It should be off.
And ours on.
Yes. So I hear him yelling. I don't know what's wrong. It's queued up.
In the meantime, Ronnie's trying to come back from the break, and our mics aren't on.
I'm telling you, I'm in a cranky fucking mood today. They got me in a cranky mood. Why isn't Earl in there, Fez? Why is Earl hanging around?
I don't know where Earl went off to.
Earl, what are you doing? And why is... Who's Earl talking to? Come in here, Earl. Who are you outside talking to?
What's going on out there?
A big fan of the show. Wanted to stop by and say hello.
Who is it?
John Mayer.
John Mayer is in our lobby. That's not happening.
John Mayer is outside. He's a big fan. He wants to stop by and say hello.
Bullshit. Come on, bring him in.
All right.
So, Earl, just so you know, while you leave there for a second, all hell breaks loose in the other. That is John Mayer. How you doing, buddy?
John Mayer is here. Welcome to the Ron and Fez show.
Ron, there's Fezzy over there.
Hey, John.
Thanks for having me. So right here?
Very nice to meet you. Yep, you're right there.
All right. Let me get situated for a second.
Sure.
Earl, I guess this is a good excuse for leaving your post.
I didn't know that I knew Earl. I've met Earl a couple times before. Thank you.
This is the thing in New York. Everybody knows Earl because he's everywhere.
I had no idea. He's yeah. He's like everyone's mailman.
You know, just the other day, Vernon Reed comes in here and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've known Earl for 18 years." Everybody knows Earl. You're everywhere. Why is that, Earl?
I guess I get around.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do, Zelig.
But he's such kindness radiating off the guy.
Although, when you look at him, because he's all dressed in black and he's a big black guy, everybody's like, geez, is that your security? And then 5 minutes later, they find out, no, he's just the opposite of security.
No, he's the super.
Yeah, he loves everybody. He loves everybody. So what's up with you, man? What are you up to?
Nothing, you know, I'm just coming out of cocoon mode making my record, and I just happened to become a huge fan of the show.
Thanks, man.
On the way to work every day, which in L.A. is a hell of a long time, so it's how I make peace with being in the car. So I got the XM and started kind of, becoming a fan.
I did not think the XM worked till today. Now I'm saying to myself, John Mayer's coming in here going, I'm listening to you guys on the way to work. That means a lot. What kind of hours are you working when you make a record?
Crazy hours.
Because I would have thought overnight stuff for you guys.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, well, when I'm in the studio, I'm not listening to anything, but, mixing a record in Holly, driving from Santa Monica to Hollywood every day. Middle of the night, it's kind of like your television as you're driving. So the hours are crazy, though.
But how much time, when you say you're in the cocoon, how much time takes place between, okay, it's time to go in and make the record, and now we're done?
On this record, I wanted it to be great. I wanted to get it perfect, because I know what close feels like, and I wanted to get it perfect. So it was January of 2005, we actually went in the studio to record the first song for this record, so it's been a while.
So, and that time, almost the world just goes on without you, right? I mean, you're that much into it.
And you have to let it go.
Yeah.
Because you can start to feel like the world's taken off without you, and there's new artists who come out. And you just have to kind of stay confident that when you come back, people are still going to care. And I hope that's the case. I think it's the case,
Well, you're already doing some, kind of making some strange moves that people wouldn't expect for you to make that with that last live album and all.
Yeah,
some of the people that you're playing with.
It's a funny dance, man, with the pop thing, because you want to get as famous as you can possibly be, but you also want to do it on your terms, and it's really close to my terms. It's just I kind of felt like 4 or 5 years into it, I just had to do a few extra things to kind of pull it into the center of the target, and so it was going out and playing in a blues trio.
When you were doing that, it was with Steve Jordan and Pino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're not going to find anyone fucking better than that.
No, and in fact, I started to develop a complex about it, because people would come up and be like, how about that rhythm section?
Right.
Like, how about me for putting it together? No one ever came up to me and said, you're playing your ass off, kid. They were like, you must be thrilled to be playing with those two, and I was like, yes, I am, but I was, I was also playing up there too.
But even at the same time, I mean, it goes to show you, if you couldn't play, if you weren't a player.
That's what they all say. That's as close as they come to saying you were really good tonight. Is that by proxy, you're at least, just by standing next to those guys, you can't possibly suck.
Oh, and John, you were there too. I saw you on the stage.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you kind of like to go out and look for that, though. I know that you've been the kind of guy to go out and play with people that you dug when you were younger, right?
Yeah, I mean, the pop thing is such a narrow kind of bandwidth of stuff to do, and I'm one of those guys where I always have to reconcile what I love with what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I love more stuff than I'm capable of doing, and I've been typecast a couple times. But it's the great way to get typecast is have a couple hits.
Right.
And no one in the world, by the way, ever had a hit that summed them up. No one ever went like, oh, there's my one song that can be used as a handle for the rest of my life. There's the one.
I'm fine with that now.
You should be, all these artists come up and they want to knock like Your Body is a Wonderland and stuff. And you should hope in your life it's one day to be as miserable as I've been over Your Body is a Wonderland.
Right.
Which is not miserable at all. It's just conflicted. You know what I mean?
But again, too, when you get a chance to have an audience, that's when you get a chance to go, all right, now we're going to make some changes. You know what I mean?
Sure,
now we're going to do some different things.
And every great artist has done it. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced, is kind of crap compared to where he ended up being. But I like to think he knew that's what took place, is the foot in the door thing. I mean, I can get on stage, and it's a little unfair, and I'm aware of it. I can get on stage and do things 10 times more esoteric than someone who actually does that for a living.
Right.
And I can get more people in the room to check it out than that other person could who's been giving his whole life to that kind of music. My responsibility to that is to bring those people up on stage.
Right.
If not physically, then just kind of direct them to where that is. And so for my fans, I've kind of taken on the role of like the cool older brother who can stand by the stereo and be like, check that out, check that out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, which again, you know, I mean, a lot of people who have done that, like with, you know, in film and all, and people have done that, even like, you know, novelists. I don't know. I mean, musicians used to do that, I think, before years ago than they do now. I think there's more pressure now once you have hits. Like if you look at the Doors, they were able to put out, you know, 6 or 7 albums in, you know, 4 or 5 years. They don't let guys do that anymore, right? They really milk the one album once it's out there.
No, and I don't think guys want to do it either.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing, man, and I think the trio thing came to be because I felt I had a couple hits that kind of molded me as they started to kind of triangulate my position as an artist. And if I had put one more song out like that, everybody would have gone, that's what you are, cool, then give me more of that.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of bands running around where, like, you know, their record label says, you know, give me the 3 songs you know I want and do whatever the hell you want to do for the rest of it. So you have these bands that have these incredibly different kind of disparate lives where they have to go and play Regis and Kelly.
Right.
And the rest of it, like Nickelback. They have like 3 Nickelback songs, and the rest of them are like Bend Over the Pinball Machine, Baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're never, I just don't want to be conflicted. I'd rather be poor than be conflicted, because, you know, you've met conflicted stars.
Sure.
And it's a really fucked up thing, because everybody, they don't know how to be.
Right.
I've met some huge stars who just gone behind the eyes.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
then
I mean?
they have that thing of, I never got to do what you want. Then fucking do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And do it.
And then take the consequences for whatever they are.
And for me, everybody thinks that I'm going to come in like a douchebag and like see a sunset and want to write about it in front of you. So I only have to be a little bit cool. I just have to be a little bit cool. You have to come in and like actually aggressively, additively be cool. I just have to not be a douche. And people are kind of like, Mayor guy's cooler than I thought.
Right.
So that's kind of a cool thing.
So what kind of folks have you worked with or had the chance to hang out with or play with that you were like, even in the back of your mind going, I can't believe I'm standing here.
You know, I just played with B.B. King last week, and it's a
ridiculous.
constant dizziness. It's just you just get dizzy. You're just lightheaded, and you hold on. You literally get lightheaded.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it would be a lot of name dropping, but it's everybody alive who I've ever wanted to play with, I've played with.
You're able to work that out now?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do that? You get a hold of them?
No, you know, I think I'm really lucky because there's so few people doing what I do that I hit the radar pretty fast. When there's a guy who's selling millions of records but would rather be a blues artist, the blues guys find out about that really fast.
Right.
You know? So I've just been really lucky. It's a long-term thing, man. You have to hold out for people's trust, and I think I'm getting it, and I think, God, you guys are so serious on this.
No, I couldn't fucking help it.
You're so serious.
This is a very weird thing for us just to have you walk in.
You guys don't have. I'm just a huge fan, and I said I was bugging my publicist, like, I don't know how you guys don't have a phone number. You guys don't.
No, we don't
your
give a shit
site's
about
kind of like a
nothing.
fan site.
No,
there's no way to really track you down.
Yeah, I can't tell you 2 guys that are less interested in what they do than us. We have no cares at all about what we do or
and
where
I like
we're
it.
going. Yeah.
And I've never been nervous I've never been a fan of anybody on the radio before. It's always been like, gotta ask you a question. You're a good looking guy. Not that I'm gay. Not that there's anything wrong with it. You know? And there's like the edgy radio.
Yeah.
Could you draw Jennifer Love Hewitt's vagina?
Yeah.
You know, I can't joke off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like spiking the ball over your head, you know?
That was going to be my next question. Damn it.
You know, I mean, exactly what you're talking about is not giving a shit is what we did a long time ago. We just stopped caring.
The first time I heard you guys, and by the way, I big shout out to my older brother Carl Mayer, who's a huge listener and has always been turning me on to stuff. He wanted me to hear. He said, "You got to hear this thing. You got to hear this thing." It was a 45-minute diatribe, not a diatribe, but a discourse on how many 9-year-olds could you beat up in a ring.
Right.
And the most sustained effort, a Herculean effort of comedy for 45 minutes, just when you think the ball's about to hit the ground, it goes all the way up in the air again, and I was hooked on the show.
I mean, but the reality of that is, if they're coming in once a minute, sustain yourself, fucking lay one out, sit back and relax from that point on.
This is the exact. Now I'm a part of my favorite bit. That's great. And the thing is, too, now I want other people to listen to Ron and Fez. So when they get in my car, I do this whole thing where, like, oh, I hope they're funny right now.
Right.
So I get out, because sometimes like, oh, please be funny right now, because I just sat and talked as I was starting the car about how funny this shit is.
Yeah.
Please don't be esoteric. Please don't be inside joking right now.
That's where we get to. And that's when people go back to being funny. That's when we go, no, we're not going to. Here's Vin Vendors, and we're going to talk to him for 45 minutes about a film none of you guys will ever fucking
And I always do this every once in a while. You're like, they usually are really fucking funny. Like, they're really funny.
I never would let us get pushed into that too.
What, the funniness?
Yeah, just fuck it. It's too stupid. First of all, to act like all you ever do is be funny is how you turn into the zoo guys. Then, you know, suddenly you think it's funny that a plane crashed.
That's
right. I wonder what they were eating. Shut the fuck up. This is a tragedy.
But that's the fun part, is you get what you get. And also, people call up with some pretty miserable sounding jokes and ideas and stuff, and you must be in the back of your mind wanting to knock them.
You know, we were just talking about...
And you do everything you can to just keep them going. I've heard people call with the most unfunny things, just like train wrecks of jokes, and you go, I can see what he's saying. Not a bad idea. Burn all black people. Great. Let's move on to the next person. You know, and that was the first time I ever heard a radio show where you weren't like... You know, like the cool lunch table making fun of the retarded kid.
No, it's just the opposite.
It's really cool.
It's the opposite where we're saying at the cool table blows.
And you're the retarded kid showing off your new haircut.
Yeah.
Great.
The retarded people are saying, you know what, you fucking guys are cool, and the other ones suck. But, you know, the thing about that, too, is, like, at some point in your life, you just said to yourself, I don't fucking care anymore.
I'm close to it.
Yeah. I just, you know, because we did have, like, a big show in Florida, and it was the big morning show, and, hey, we're all going to... Just after a while, just stop it. It's just dumb. I don't care what the fucking numbers are.
Are you married?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. I'm so single, and I have all this extra kind of mechanism in my brain for bullshit that I know once I have a girlfriend, fiance, wife, in whatever order that occurs in, I'm just going to be so happy not to have to use that part of my brain anymore. And like taking all that long to dress. Like I'm a little bitch still in my life, where I'll go to the elevator and ring the button to go down, and then still turn around and change my pants. I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm close to not doing it anymore. I just have to find the right woman who will lock that in.
No, that's going to be it. She's going to change it all for you.
She's going to change it all, and she's going to be a graphic designer or a substitute school teacher, something like that.
Something like a normal chick.
Someone with a long dress I can put my hand up on.
Right.
And you'll tell her, you're the woman who made me quit changing my pants.
That's right.
You've changed everything. Isn't this great?
These are my pants of commitment. That's right.
Say these pants stink. This is great. John Mayer hanging out with us, and this is the oddest thing in the world to me.
Good.
Really. Just to have you stop by.
And I brought my single because I want to. This will be the absolute world premiere of the single.
Is that right?
Of my song. If you guys are hip to playing it, and I thought we could do like a smash it, trash it.
Have you heard these callers though? They're going to fucking trash.
What I was thinking was, instead of me, they could just trash like Black Eyed Peas or something. So smash me, or just defer the trashing to someone else. And I could take a trashing.
And then we went to Black Eyed Peas just to be great. Didn't we? Did we really think that was going to happen for a while?
I just want it. Because they made this promise in a title called "Let's Get It Started."
Yeah,
and that's a bill of sale.
Right.
Like, okay, let's go. And amazing hype artists.
Right.
They can hype up some shit it's just all, here we go, yo, here we go. It's like they're stalling for a guy who's going to come in and rap who's not in the building yet.
Yeah. But, you know, here's the point. I know it's hard to argue with people once you've had hits, right? But the thing is, how many hits do you need before you can be satisfied?
I'm not. I mean, I have to hang out with these guys at the Punch Bowl every once in a while, so I have to watch myself.
But you know how great that original shit was. And it's the same thing with you. When you have your hits, now why don't you just do some stuff that you really want to do?
Stop but you know what, though? Let me tell you this. I don't know what it's like to be slugging away and not have it happen.
Right.
I reserve that. I'll never understand that, and I cut people a lot of slack for that. I can't tell you that I wouldn't have added a female singer shaking her tits around if my third record was promised to take me to the next level and it didn't. Honest to God, I don't know, and I have to always respect that I came up really, really fast. And when I look around sometimes, I'm like, why is that motherfucker so crazy?
Yeah.
It's because he had like 4 records out, and they weren't working, and then he had a 5th and it worked. You're going to stick to what it was that made that 5th record for the rest of your life.
But why do you got to look at an Elton John who's had 30 years of records and see that he's still desperate to have a hit? You're like, you fucking have these. Do not worry anymore.
But you know what I take that as, and you're kind of right about that, but I see that as hunger.
Right.
You got to stay hungry, and there's a lot of people who I've met who just don't have that hunger. And then again, they're not always pushing it, you know, but they have 3 or 4 floors in Central Park.
Right.
You know, and you have a museum on one floor. You have a museum on one floor. How much are you going to want to hit a bus and go around the world?
Yeah.
So I'm a punk and I still acknowledge it, you know.
But, you know, at the same time, I'm all about hunger for going for something good. But stop. I mean, when you're writing a song, are you trying to please somebody else or...
You're trying to please yourself, but the prerequisite to that is making sure you're in touch with other people.
Right.
As long as you're in touch with what's cool, just write for you and you hope it matches. When you start going away for 2 years and reading books no one else has read, you know, and like, you know, Sting's the only guy who can get away with writing lyrics like that. You know?
Right.
That famous book by, is it famous? That famous book by Nabokov?
Right.
Is that famous?
It's famous for really smart people.
Right. I don't know. They start writing about, you know, constellations or you read, you know, like Eastern philosophy and then your entire CD art is all just a bunch of, you know, idols and stuff all over it. I want to stay kind of, you know, with everyone else.
And again, even if you just get money, it's easy enough to start being closed off from the world and get real confused.
Sure. I caught it really early because I bought a big apartment in New York. Not a big apartment, but like fiscally large apartment.
Right.
And it sucks, man. It's just a place where you just decide to go downhill. This one apartment I live in, you know, this $2 million apartment, you have someone else build it for you while you're on tour. They send you images and JPEGs and stuff. If you're, that's great. And it ends up looking like MoMA. And then you get in there, and there's nowhere to actually sit that's comfortable. And the next thing you do is like, let me jerk off while looking through a telescope. Why don't I do that? Why don't I pick up smoking weed and jerk off staring through a telescope? And then you have to leave, and you go, this is not the place where magic happens. This is where you start just actually falling apart. And so I don't live there anymore.
So the new album is due when?
It's due September 12th. It's called Continuum, and I have to now kind of get myself revved up for going out for the next 18 months, kind of on the road.
And you're saying this is more like the stuff that you did on the live
absolutely.
album? Yeah,
absolutely. I have surgically removed the cheese.
All right. What's the name of the song you got for us?
It's called Waiting on the World to Change.
No, you really want to do this as a smash or trash? And see
let's smash or trash.
All right, smash or trash, 866 Ron Zero Fez. And I hope the fucking phones can restrain for us. But
coming off of The Master, that's my... CD
wow.
that was given to me.
So if I could somehow get this to the internet, I'll be one of those guys.
You would be one of those guys.
Yeah, that's all I've ever wanted to be. Is, you know, hey, it's all free for the people.
If you really like that, you give it out to somebody, and then at the same time as you're stealing, just talk about respecting the artist.
Right.
That's how you can be one of those guys. Give it out for free and say, hey guys, be cool with this.
Yeah. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. We ready to go?
Bet.
This is the new one, John Mayer's new one.
What you get is what you got.
Waiting on the World to Change, the brand new single from John Mayer, a world debut here on the Ron and Fez show. John Mayer stopping by.
Now we're gonna do a little smash or trash. I'm gonna just give it a smash because I never had a rock star be nice to us before, so I'm unbelievably impressed with the song.
Thank you very much. I could see the look in your eye.
Yeah, this is great. All right, smash or trash. Here's Paul. Paul, what do you got for us, buddy?
18671 checking in.
How you doing, pal? What do you got?
Big fan of John Mayer. I thought it was great. I love all the stuff he does, and just keep it up, man.
Thank you.
All right, so there we are.
All right, that's one for smash.
That's one for smash. Here's Todd. Todd, what do you got for us?
Hey, big fan. It's a smash. Very good.
There you go.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, another smash. Here is Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I want to smash it because he made the little joke about the Black Eyed Peas, and I love the Black Eyed Peas. But it was good, though. I'm sorry.
You mean trash it?
Yeah, he doesn't understand. And in the South, you can sell records to people by confusing them.
Out of the trash.
This is how Bush got elected, because people are going, no, I hate him. And they're just turning the fucking buttons for him. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Ben. Ben, what do you got?
Hey, man, that was really good. I like it. And to put it in perspective, I don't like a lot of your more poppy stuff. I think the first time I really figured out that you could play guitar, you were, I think, on the Chappelle Show and played a couple licks. I'm like, oh, damn.
That's amazing. And the Chappelle Show thing is so crazy to me that I have worked my ass off for so many years and so many months learning how to play, going to clubs, going to radio stations. All I have to do is stand behind Chappelle and duck with him in 4 different locations. And it's the most famous thing I've ever done in my life. It's like I've won Grammys. I could do everything I can to blow you away. But at the end of the day, it's love you on Chappelle.
That's your big tipping point.
Go, all right, cool.
Now I get it.
Cool.
All right, here is Jim. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Trash it.
All right, what's the problem with it, Jim?
I'm only kidding, John. I love you.
Oh, jeez. All right, so he turned it around. Here's Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, I gotta trash that. Sounds like a gay Dawson's Creek fucking album.
All right, gay Dawson's Creek. Is that what you were thinking during the last?
Is that not a little redundant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I was doing the whole time. Was trying to work on trying to write songs for a canceled TV show.
The WB's gonna love this.
That's right.
The producers just think more gay, more Dawson's Creek.
Right. The guy
Let's
comes
go.
in. We're just gonna check the fagginess of that. Hold on a second. We're gonna check the tape.
Here is Jameson. Jameson, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, guys? Initially, I'm going to give it the smash, and it's kind of like an American Idol thing. I thought the guy was a douche before we had you were on the radio, and now I really like him. He's a cool guy.
Now,
so I'm giving it a smash.
Thank you. Explain why it's the American Idol thing. You mean like Kelly Clarkson, or who are you using as the example there?
I'm using the example like you got to kind of like the person to be into their music. I think some of those guys in American Idol that didn't wind up winning was because they had no personality. Now, listening to you talk and listening to you hang out with the buddies, again, I kind of like your personality. It makes me more inclined to like the music.
You were thinking of him more as a pop star before.
Not necessarily more of a pop star, but just, again, not a real big fan. Can't really put a finger on.
I totally understand. Fan means fanatic.
That makes sense?
Right. Fan means fanatic. I'm not a fanatic about most things. Not a fan doesn't mean hate.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just my point. I have to just not be a douchebag. And all of a sudden, people are cool.
Yeah.
I got it good now. I got it good.
That you have got it down.
It's the bait and switch.
Yeah. You have, you just, the way we feel in America is that we expect the worst all the time. Anything less than the worst, this is unbelievable.
It's not so bad.
This is great.
Exactly.
All right, now here's a musician I actually, I'm going to tell you, this is a great musician called Paranoid.
Oh, yeah.
You're familiar with some
familiar.
of him? All right. Perry.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Hey, John, do you remember that time you put a bear suit on and went around the audience?
I did.
Outside?
I did. I had a TV show on VH1. I did one show because I've dabbled in comedy before. I just don't want to sit here and be the guy that tries to out-joke you guys because that's really just uncool. But I messed around before. I did a show on VH1, and I actually owned a bear suit before I did a show. Because
why wouldn't you?
The deal is, I was on tour, and I would hear all these stories about how many like hot girls and all the crazy shit that went on in the parking lot. But they were always like, "Well, you can't go." You can't go out. So I would hear all this stuff that was going on, and everybody would look at me like, well, you obviously can't go out. So I said, well, I want to go out in the parking lot, but how am I going to get there? So we had the idea to buy a mascot, a bear mascot, and I could kind of walk around and play like a local oil change company bear or something, and then I could still kind of see what was going on, except I couldn't even see out of the bear suit, so I didn't use it until the TV show, and then the bit was make fun of myself in front of people.
Still got it?
The bear suit?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Earl, who was the guy at NEW who would only go to out of his gigs in a bear suit?
That was Vinny. He did the whole...
Vince Gelsa?
Yeah, it was like the Bayonne Bear.
He would not do anything. The listeners were never allowed to see him?
They never saw him, and he would just come out, do a little dance, and then walk off the stage. No announcement, no. Odd little bit.
When you're not sure if you're funny, and then you find out you're not, you need a bear suit. You need a bear. You need every help you can get.
All right.
Well, I thought the song was good. It kind of reminded me of Sexual Healing a little bit, but with better vocals.
Yeah, because everyone's always complaining about Marvin Gaye's vocals. It's fucking hacked that Marvin Gaye is.
Oh man, well it's got the Curtis. I know what he's saying. He's like he means like the Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye like soul thing, and it does have that kind of progression in it. But it's really kind of like my first world song, because I've always kind of written about two people in a room or one person in a room, and this song is just kind of about how fucked up everything is. And my generation is not taken to the streets because this entire administration are a bunch of they just changed the rule. Every neighborhood has like the fat kid who makes the rules for the games, and then he's also on the team, and then he changes the rules so that he doesn't die or that he doesn't have to get ejected out of the game. And I just can't play in that game that much longer with someone like that. And I feel like that's where my generation kind of is, where we don't really want to even try to overcome something because what we're trying to overcome will just warp and change to keep the whole thing going. And so the only thing you do left is you don't want to go crazy, so you go, well, I'm just going to wait. It's like catching this whole thing in the middle of the administration. I'll just wait till the next administration and then really be on my game,
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you feel like there is going to be a big change and not the whole just shithouse is going to come down?
I think there's going to be a big change, and I think a song about not changing for a while is just the thing to do it.
I know people are saying you should be in the streets and you're not, but let's just hold on.
But what is a song? And the song says we're waiting on the world to change, which is extreme benefit of the doubt, which is the only thing you can do because you can't get on a microphone and say, wake up.
Right.
Nobody wants to be told to wake up. You don't want me saying, we got to wake up. We got to realize.
Right.
I got stuff to do, man. I don't need to turn on the radio in the car and hear you telling me to wake up. I'm awake. I was awake at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And things have come up like, where are the protest songs? They're out there. There are plenty of artists that have put out political stuff.
They are, but the problem is, some of these songs, I really respect Neil Young for what he's done. The problem with that is you're not going to come out changed from that song. You're either with him or against him on the way in.
Yeah.
Being told let's impeach the president is not going to make a staunch Republican come out any different. So I kind of feel like as a songwriter, all you have to do is just observe. That's all good lawyers do. That's all good case makers do is just observe. So maybe at the end of a song about doing nothing for a minute, there's a reverse psychology in that at the very worst.
It's a really good point because we're at the point now, too, that everybody has, like, their own market on these sites. Like, if Hannity puts out a book, it's going to go to number one. If Michael Moore or Al Franken put out a book, it's number one because only their people are listening.
And it actually disturbs people to not know what side you're on.
Right.
Are you for or against? It's lazy. It's actually really lazy. For and against is the laziest form of communication whatsoever. You don't want to engage in a conversation, so you go, well, sum it up for me, for or against.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not for or against. Politics aren't politics anymore. You can't say like, so there's a big war going on right now, and people say, I don't want to talk about politics. I wasn't talking about politics. I was talking about just stuff going on.
Right.
So I'm not singing about pork barrel spending in a song.
That happens to us all the time too. Like if you have an opinion, and then people go, well, you people on the left, and you're like, what do you? It's not like I get together with people.
Right.
I gave you one opinion.
Right. Well, it's lazy. People don't want to engage in going, wow, it's interesting you say that. Well, you're not an idiot.
Right.
You're not insane. So, God, maybe this thing can exist on both sides at the same time. Wouldn't that be a crazy thing if both things are true? Right. Wow. And I think we're in a situation where, in a lot of ways, two things are true at the same time,
All right, Perry, you got anything else for him?
No, that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. Great song, Jim.
Thanks, man.
See you.
Here is George. George, you're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Yeah.
Ron Fez?
Yes.
Hey, John. Yeah, that was a smash, man. That's a good song.
Thank you.
You liked it?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like the lighter stuff from Sublime.
The lighter side of Sublime he gave you with that one. That
the ones the girls like.
Yeah, that was...
Sublite.
Here's Kurt. Kurt, you're on the air. All right, let me try it again. Hey, Kurt, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
First off, I want to say congrats on the phones not blowing up.
They kind of have. They're half down, so I kept conversations going. You have fucked up the phone lines.
Oh, have I really?
With your song, yeah. The song, they're totally blown up. But let me just show my little magic here. We're keeping the conversation going. I'm watching out the corner of my eye as they start to work again. So we got overloaded with phone calls, and now they're dripping.
You're still using 9X.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. According to the engineer, it was a lot of trashes.
Yeah.
That came in, and
no, but the funny thing is now we're at a threshold time-wise where if you're still on the phone waiting to trash me, you're really sitting around.
Actually, John, I wanted to say I've never listened to any of your music, never really had a desire to, but after hearing that, I do have to say it's pretty damn good, and I'm gonna give you a shot and try to listen to some of your other stuff.
Thank you very much.
It had a real good groove to it. I'm a musician myself, and it just...
That's Steve Jordan.
Just had a real good catch to it.
Yeah,
That's
all
Steve Jordan playing the drums. Wow, what's it like to make your hit song with those two? It's pretty good. I wrote it. Yeah, but if those guys are with you, you must be something.
How could you not?
How could you not?
This be a miss?
I love that.
How could pass? Yeah.
How could you not?
Steve Jordan, they might as well call him Michael Jordan because that's
He's
the way
the Michael
people,
Jordan of drumming.
That's the way everybody talks about him. Here's Johnny. Johnny, you're on the air. How you doing, pal?
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, man?
Cool.
Hey, John, it's a smash, man. It's great.
Thank
you.
you.
Nervous talking to you.
This is like focus grouping.
Yeah, it really is.
I should hook you up with. You guys are the most cool radios. You don't have a signed guitar. You are without any of the artifacts of a radio station.
Here's what we like to do.
No hot saleswomen.
We like to know that we could be out of here in 30 seconds without there being a problem. We could just be gone. Well, all of our salespeople are in D.C. We are as far away from everybody
without
as you could
any of the trappings. A little bit of the Fridays, like kind of artifact thing up on the top. Yeah, a little bit of flair.
Yeah,
but cool flair.
Yeah,
not like a signed
most of the stuff,
Skid Row guitar.
Yeah, most of the stuff is all O&As. If I look around, I think only that picture someone did of Fez is actually ours. So we could be out of here in 30 seconds without a problem in the world.
I love it.
I could leave this like I left a couple marriages, just real quick, and without thinking about it.
And I'm sure you're absolutely the same. Well, you were the same before. No, actually, I didn't see you when you weren't on air, but I'm sure you're exactly the same. Not like guys who are like, I'm Cyclone. Well, you and I are actually both not on the air yet, so I was wondering just so I know, like, what's your real name? Cyclone.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, but I mean, really, come on, I'm watching you drink coffee.
Hey, Frankie.
Yo, what's up, boys?
How are you, pal?
All right, man. Hey, I love it. It's a smash. It's just perfect for what's going on out there today. Everybody's outraged. Everybody wants change, but nobody wants to do jack shit about it. The only people nowadays that care enough to actually do something about it are our little housewives in Alabama that write into networks and radio stations because Janet Jackson showed her tit,
Isn't it weird how there's two worlds going on? There's the actual real world, and then there's like the Rita Cosby, Greta Van Susteren world. Right. It's a whole different, and depending on which one you trust, the world is actually insane or like a little less insane.
Right.
And people who call it, they're just people who love to raise a stink. If they're not up in arms about something, then they're not alive. And they just call up and they're always just put out. I'm put out. I'm impugned by this. And it's and what this song is and what I want to be and what I think a lot of people my age are is kind of just approaching things sensibly. We don't, in a way, the apathy kind of helps because we don't take either side, so we're able to kind of be like, all right, George Bush, sell me. I walk into a store and I say, sell me. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we're going into war. Sell me on the war. Oh, okay, so we're going to, stabilize the Middle East. Got it. Keep selling it. Okay, so you stabilize, we'll put a pillar of freedom up. Well, no architectural structure was ever held up by one pillar, so where's the next pillar? Crickets. Sell it on me, man. Tell me we're going from place to place to place. We're going to fuck some stuff up. And I go, all right, I'll go with you on that. But there's no completed circle of logic anywhere anymore, and I'm just going like, somebody finish a thought, you know? And so what Waiting on the World to Change is just calling it like I see it without saying, let's get rid of this guy. Because I don't, you know, probably, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't, you know. Who knows?
The next song is called Get Your Guns. Come on, follow me.
That's right.
Follow me. I'm ready to lead.
That's right.
John Mayer's sitting in with us. We're doing a smash and trash with. This was a world exclusive.
This is the first time anyone's ever heard it in any kind of media.
Fez, have we ever had an exclusive before?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Even
most
of your shit is really redone. That you've all jokes that you're just retelling over and over. The whole I'm not gay, yeah, okay.
Well, yeah.
What is the story with that? Because
Yeah.
I thought that you were gay until I looked it up on your official looking official
RonFez.net,
site.
yeah.
Looks like
the official unofficial website.
It looks officially unofficial.
Yeah.
But so
It
you're not a gay man.
Well,
what are you exactly?
I don't know if this is the forum to get into this, John Mayer.
I'm ready to know. It's been a long time with me, too.
You know, if I woke up this morning, someone had told me John Mayer's going to try to call you out on something.
Yeah,
that's not true. I'm not trying to call you out.
Yes, it's time to we find out.
Oh, you don't. Wait. So you don't even know?
I will tell you this, and this is an absolute shoot. I don't see him with men. I don't see him with women. I'm saying bring either one. I accept. Have a dinner date. It's fine with me.
I'm just waiting on the world to change.
Oh, see, you tied it all back in.
The callback.
You know what? That's nice. You're using your humor to deflect.
Well, but the website said that you're actually not and that you're married. Is that a joke?
I don't even know. RonFest.net says this?
Mikey, if Mikey
I linked around a lot. I might end up somewhere.
Yeah.
No, it's on the page.
I got to start checking the websites.
It's on the page.
Here is
I feel terrible.
Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
How are you, Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor.
It's the New York Times calling.
You really aren't a douche, and it does surprise me because your songs are kind of douchey.
Well,
but I do like the lyrics of this song, but I don't like the tune. It seems a little disjointed.
Disjointed.
You know what I mean? There's a lot going on.
You had a lot on your mind when you were doing this song, or what happened?
Phone call in the middle of it. Well, now I got to ask you. I want to keep this call for you. I forgot your name. What's your name again?
My name's Mike.
Mike. Okay, check it out. So the douchiness, let's call it, of my prior work. How much of the perceived douchiness is compounded by the success of the song? I really want to break this down for a second. If somebody,
you could be douchey and still be successful. There's no doubt about that.
But you don't think the douchiness is amplified by the success at all? You don't think it brings about a certain contempt for the whatever the intention of the song might have been? Now, oh, look what this guy's trying to write. Fathers, be good to your daughters.
Right.
He's trying. It's different when it's on a record, and it's different when it becomes a hit. So, is there, in your mind, is there any distinguishment between it being a successful song or it just being a kind of a, if it were just if nobody bought it, it'd still be a douchey song?
I pretty much thought they were douchey the first couple times I heard them.
Got it.
So I don't think, it wasn't like it was overplayed. It just, for me, it was a little douchey.
Initially douchey.
Initially douchey, but,
right out of the womb.
It didn't get annoying.
But it's a good point. If you come into a club and you're hearing that, yeah, all right, I'm listening to the song. But if you're in Chili's and you're trying to eat and you're hearing the song for the 800th time, you're like, what the fuck is with this?
Well, that's another thing too, though, man. People will, in the same time as compliment. It's a weird compliment when people say, "I'm sick of that song,"
right?
Because to become sick of it, you had to have had some kind of affair with the song and liking it. There was a day you liked it the most. You didn't know when it was until you went, holy shit, I listened to it too much.
Yeah.
And then again, people, the way you listen to music now, people gorge themselves on music and they don't know they're going to be sick of a song. I had this conversation yesterday with iTunes. Like, when does the single go up on iTunes?
Right.
I don't really want it to go up on iTunes because people, like music fans, with the iPod and they have control over their music. It's your music. I wrote it, but it's your music.
Right.
And they will listen to it 400 times a day until they're sick of it. Of course you're sick of it. You listen to it too much. And it used to be like whenever the radio was playing, you'd be like, oh, it's on. It's on. Because you control it, people have not developed the ability yet to kind of govern themselves and what they shouldn't listen to too much. And they go out of their mind insane over it before the record even comes out. You know?
You know, that's very weird because I just had this experience yesterday. This Anthony and the Johnsons, you know who this guy is?
No.
Unbelievable. I'm watching this Leonard Cohen documentary.
Yeah.
And this kid comes out. I didn't know him. I guess he had toured with Lou Reed. He's from England. Unfucking believable voice. Great. By the time I first saw him on this DVD, within no time at all, I had 8 songs by him. When I was younger, when you got that guy, it took a long time to get people into that.
If Every Breath You Take came out today,
right,
as great a song as it is, as fantastic a song as it is, if it was available on iTunes for download for 3 weeks before the record came out, and you just listened to it and you put it on your playlist and random and you heard it, play count 60.
Right.
I don't know that it would be the song it is today because people that we just haven't figured out. I almost want to put a disclaimer up when I put my single up, like just listen to it every once in a while. Just don't go nuts on it because you'll be sick of it.
You know, I talked about that before with my kids. I'm like, when I was younger, when the band got there, everybody had tickets. We didn't even know what these guys looked like until they came out. It was the fucking circus coming to town when rock and roll bands used to. Now, if you're into the guy, you're on the website, you've seen every picture of him, listen to everything.
And I'm purposely putting this record out without any kind of bonus, extra, maximum strength, belly banded value pack. It's like, you should have seen how much I gave up. Half my circle of friends are gone because I made this because of the way I made this record and didn't communicate with people. That's pretty like bonusy to me, you know. And you do this thing where you get the dual disc or you get the bonus thing, and you grab the music. So you have the music the guy worked his entire life on, and then you have this DVD of him in the studio with the lights on, drinking coffee in front of the sink, talking about the songs. Which one are you going to go to first? You're going to go to the DVD first.
Right.
So you're going to see all the songs, hear all the songs for the first time, a crappy-ass performance on the acoustic guitar with 2 handycams out in the parking lot of the studio, and then you're going to get to the music. And the thing is, our favorite records have this mystery to it. Like, do you really ever, is there any footage of Michael Jackson behind a microphone going, Shamo? There's not, and that's what makes it still cool. You don't see what he was wearing that day. You know, like, I love Jeff Buckley. I don't perceive that they ever had a pizza party in between vocals, but they probably did.
Sure.
And that's what it's about, is kind of, the mystery's gone, man. You know, you have the iPod and you have like 6,000 awesome classic CDs and they go like this. You're at Z already. You know
and then, of course, everybody moves on. Like you said, you get really consumed with it, and then you move on to the next thing.
Is Mike sitting there because he thinks I'm going to keep talking to him? Is he still sitting there on the phone?
I think he fell out. He's like, fuck it, I'm done with this. Hey, Scott, you're on the air with John Mayer. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
What's up, John?
How you doing?
You know, Ronnie, he picked this out a couple weeks ago. That people hear a certain song and they really don't know what the hell they're listening to, the words really. And, you know, so that douche that just called a minute ago, did he really catch everything in that song? Did he really feel it?
But I kind of consider myself like a musicologist, so I understand why people say what they say. And that song is supposed to be kind of like a jam, so it's a little linear. It's a little bit, I don't want to say chaotic, but it's really kinetic.
No, I feel it, you know, because I'm a DJ and shit. You know, I could actually spin that record, and I could mix that record, and I could actually cut that record up.
Yeah, I know why. You want to steal the Steve Jordan drum beat at the beginning. You can't wait.
It's got a hot beat, you know. I mean, I really didn't hear the lyrics, but it's tight, you know. It's something
Thanks, man.
I'm going to be humming the fucking song all day now.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Then you're going to hate me in 2 weeks.
No,
that'll be it.
That's it.
And it's over.
Enjoy it. Enjoy our relationship while it's here.
That's not how I get down. You know, that's not how I get down at all.
Thanks, man. Well, I mean, starting to work out really changes the way I wrote music because I realized I couldn't listen to my music on the treadmill. Like, wow, you cannot work out to my shit.
Weights, dude. You need free weights to listen to music.
You cannot work out to my shit. So I at least wanted to put a first single out you could work out to.
All right, John Mayer. Can we play it one more time before?
Play it one more time.
Yeah, we'll play it one more time. Thanks a lot for getting in. Now, people are going, oh, it's bullshit that he listens to you guys, and that's why he stopped by. I'm getting emails saying that.
From who? From fans?
Yeah, from fans saying, this is just a very clever marketing thing. If it is, that's very fucking cool as well.
And if it is, aren't there bigger things I could have done? First of all, think about it like this. Just for me being on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I got to be cool just for
knowing who we are.
For knowing who you are.
Yeah,
I mean, there's things
true.
like I love smaller, interesting things because big isn't always interesting.
I'm going to tell you right now, just the fact that you showed up here, we're moving everything. The camp is being pulled up. We move along. We're getting on the radar, Fez, and we got to stop that.
Yeah. I would hardly compare this as an aggressive marketing campaign next to like Verizon VCast with me coming out of a cell phone. I'm not doing that. I'm just I'm doing stuff I like.
Or when Vince Vaughn's movie came out, he was on every single show on TV for between Wednesday and Friday. It's just amazing.
Well, that's how they do it. They blow it out.
How these things happen.
Then you hear the same story. No, I get it. I want to do some stuff I want to do this time around.
Well, it's really cool that you stopped by. Thank you very much, man, and best of luck with this. How the new album is due when?
I'm just purposely not going to tell you just to fuck with that guy.
It's no one's business.
I don't know when it's coming out. Seek it out, my friends.
It's no one's business. Earl, you look like you're having the time of your life. Your buddy's here.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Earl looks like the black guy they hire at a bar with white people. That's really nice and tells he's like that Barry Bonds kind of like approachable, like he doesn't threaten any white guy, so he can be like, we got to go, guys. Drink up. Yeah. Finish your drink. We got to go.
And at another time, see, Earl can always get you in every club because the white people like to have that one black guy there and making the place. Sure. We bring Earl and a Vietnamese chick, and we're in any club in this town. That's what we need. Make it look a little exotic. All right, let's play the new one again. And thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks, you guys. And anytime you guys want the scoop, if I'll do some messed up stuff. I was saying, I get too close to Jessica Simpson at a club. You want to know the truth? I'll give you the phone number. Call me up on the air.
Yeah, because I never know when you're supposed to be in the famous relationship. When you date another famous person, that's when the heat's really on, right?
And I'm looking to do that. I mean, I got my agents on it now because I'm coming back out of the woodwork. So I will keep you guys apprised.
We'll try to find out who the new hot chick is.
That's right.
From the new CD Continuum, this is John Mayer, Waiting on the World to Change.
They say we stand for nothing and there's no way.
XM 202.
Ron and Fez show. Fez, a very busy night for me. Fez, I'm going out to dinner with John Mayer and Jennifer Love Hewitt, and so I might even have to leave here a little early.
When did this all happen? When did this hook up?
I don't know.
Am I going?
Why don't you wait here, and if everything works out, I'll call you. Let me just make sure I can cool it up a little bit, and then I'll give you a call. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. It was a very odd morning. You're sitting here. First of all, Earl leaves his thing. So I got Eastside Dave, by the way, doing a terrible job of bringing us back. Instead of turning on our mics, he turns on his, and all I hear is, it's not working. It's not working. And I'm trying to talk, and I can't. And he's not talking to me. He's talking to an intern or whatever he's doing over there. So then I look over to you to yell at you for not being on point, and I see you with John Mayer.
Yeah, it was just out in the hallway. So I was just kind of center fielding the whole thing. I was just like,
odd.
So, and then Earl comes in and says, yeah, there's a friend of yours who was a fan of the show. And I see John Mayer, and like you're trying to just do a normal shitty show. He's being all cranky. And then, rock stars are coming by. When did you know this, or was he in the building? Or
I got a call from Raquel over at CTV. He was like, hey, he's a big fan, and he wants to stop by. And I was just like, I don't know. I was like, you know what I mean?
You didn't know if it even fit necessarily?
I didn't know if it could fit. I don't know if he would show up. Because,
right.
Things change. It'll
so you
drop
thought,
in the hat.
Yeah.
So I was just sort of like, hey, if he shows up, he shows up. And then we could turn around, and there he is.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's really weird to me to somebody to say, oh, yeah, I listen to you guys in L.A.
I know, it just sounds bizarre.
Very, very weird.
I get in the car in L.A., I'm listening to you in the morning over there.
On my way to the studio. I had news for you. If I was a musician, I would only listen to talk radio because it's to be able to sit after working all day and then listen to other music, that's insane.
Yeah, it's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah. Because, like, people say to me, have you heard this talk show or that talk show? And I'm like, please, it's the last thing I feel like doing is hear other people doing what we do.
Go home and shut her down.
All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Earl, you're sitting over there smiling. You're finally happy when rock guys come in, huh?
Yeah, I always love musicians because they're always interesting people. And they always have a different perspective. They're always, for the most part, pretty funny guys, and definitely have this weird look on things, like because they just live differently. They have odd hours. They deal with chicks and other crazy musicians.
For a guy to be where he is, though, he had a very fucking cool head about. Yeah, I understand. You get sick of some of these songs. Doesn't mean it's the song's fault. He wasn't taken, and because when you get the slightest bit of success in this country anymore, they fucking rain on you. They absolutely come down on you. But he was able to not personalize some of the backlash that everybody gets.
Yeah, he took criticism very well.
He was just looking for it.
He was looking for it. He was like, hey, okay, explain this to me. Why, he wanted to really get an idea of why people didn't like his stuff.
I got news for you. I thought our fucking callers were going to just lay him out just for being pricks for, pricks' sakes. I was ready for all the stupid Ramones to come flying his way. But, and the phones did go down, huh?
Yeah, they blew up, I think, twice. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good reason for you to point out why we can't be in the position of the phones blowing up. It just can't happen. You got to get that fixed. Now, we are going down to D.C. when? Next week?
Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday. So they're going to give us a limited amount of spots. You fought to get a couple more. So
yeah,
if you'd like to come out and see us, we'll be doing the show regular times. But in D.C. next Tuesday, which is what, a week from yesterday?
Yeah, a week from yesterday, the 20th.
Yeah. Well, don't call us. Just write to us at Ron and Fez at AOL, ronandfez at AOL.com. and we'll see if we can't work it out so you can get in. It's like some special day or something, though? It's like a fun day there?
Yeah, it's like just like a big employee appreciation day, and there's just going to be a lot of things going on. I think bands are going to be playing, and there's going to be, I think there's going to be an Indy 500 demonstration. There's going to be a lot going on.
So what are me and Fez supposed to do? Our show?
Yeah, other shows will be broadcasting from there as well. So.
Oh, it'd be like when everybody goes to Disney on the same day?
Yeah.
One of those. What do they always call that, Fez? There's like a whole line of shows.
Yeah, I want to call it like Media Day, but it's got a much better name than that.
Yeah. Well, Disney, I don't know whether they still do it. They used to do it for us. They would set it up where they would take you there. They'll fly you in from anywhere in the country. You're on the air. They set you up, your family. It's a VIP tour. You're staying in the nicest hotel, free food. And you're like, this is great. Then the whole time that you're on the air, it's like, hey, Mickey wants to come by and say hi. Hey, it's Goofy. Hey, if we get the opportunity, we'd like to talk about this new ride. So your show is screwed the entire time. You've literally whored yourself out to a way that since your kids are happy, you just go with it.
And aren't the mascots, they never talk either. Like, hi, Mickey.
Yeah,
we brought Mickey by to see you.
Yeah, and he's always waving. See, he likes you. Oh, he's looking at his watch. It's time for him to go.
We're going to get you the woman that plays Cinderella. She will not talk, though.
Earl, we were talking about this, people coming and going. I saw this Eminem. I guess he's trying to make a little bit of a career change into the acting. And is he going to do Have Gun Will Travel, the old TV show?
Yeah, he's going to do an updated version of Have Gun Will Travel.
Now, you know who that was, Fez? That was Paladin. That was maybe the greatest fucking cowboy of all time. I do not think of Eminem in that role. Do you think it's going to work for him, Earl?
I think if they urbanize it enough, because I believe it's going to take place in like modern Detroit. If they do it that way.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Modern Detroit?
I think
How is this a cowboy thing?
I think they're going to try to modernize it to where he's like a hitman or something. But
remember when they were selling Eminem as the Elvis of hip hop for a while?
Yeah,
right. The Elvis of rap. Has that gone away?
No, I don't think it's gone away. I think he's one of those guys. Because the thing that was cool about Elvis was that like black people liked him.
Is that right?
Black people loved Elvis. They respected Elvis because he was honoring. Even though he was accused of stealing, he was honoring it and he was very sincere about it. And I think that's the same way about Eminem. People like black and white people like him because he's sincere about it. He's not trying. It's not Vanilla Ice where he made up this whole past or anything. He was just who he was.
So they had accepted him along the way.
Yeah, they definitely accepted him along the way.
I'm trying to think. Who would you say the Elvis of country has been? Elvis of country music.
I'd probably say Garth Brooks.
Really?
Or no, better about Hank Williams.
Hank Williams, yeah.
Definitely Hank Williams.
The first Hank Williams.
Yeah, Hank.
Even though he didn't call himself Hank Sr., that's the way that he's looked at now. All right, Elvis of jazz.
Wow. It could either, to me, it's a toss-up. It's like it's either like Charlie Parker, Duke Ellington, or John Coltrane. It's not easy for me.
Can only be one. You can only have one Elvis. It is Highlander. There could only be one.
In terms of just like the whole elements of cool, I would say Miles Davis. Just the whole cool factor.
Thank you, Earl, for finally giving us the correct. Elvis of wrestling, Fez. Who was it?
Hulk Hogan.
Over Bruno?
Over Bruno, yeah.
Even over Flair?
What would Bruno be?
Bruno would have been Bill Haley.
I was going to say Howling Wolf.
Oh, yeah. You got to go back a little earlier because Bruno was way before his time. So you would have to go back a little bit. Here is, let me go to Sean first. Sean, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Take your thumb off line 4 and we're all going to be on our way. Thanks. Hey, Sean, how you doing, pal?
Hey, wouldn't the Elvis of country music have to be Charlie Bride, Kiss an Angel Good Morning, because he's black, right?
I know you're really going too far with this and say who was like Elvis was the white guy doing black music, who was the black guy doing country music. I guess that would be Charlie Pride.
See, I would say Ray Charles. Because Ray Charles did country music.
I never think of Ray Charles as a country music guy, though. I know he did some, But I just feel like that's one of those things where he did it for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he had a long. He never stopped doing it.
Right.
There was always a country song in there somewhere on an album.
But he also did a gospel song on every album, and
did straight up jazz albums,
jazz, blues. He's done it all. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I gotta disagree with Earl on that. Hank Williams was original and everything, but like as of right now, you really got to go with like Chris Ledoux. He started with rodeo. He actually worked the circuits and everything.
Here's the thing.
Before he ever started singing.
Here's the problem, bro. If you say Elvis, everybody knows who you're talking about. You say Chris Ledoux, you've got to have the hardcore people today. All that shit can be flash in the pan. The thing about Elvis is still Elvis now, 30 years after he died, probably almost 50 years after he started. People still use Elvis as the benchmark.
Yeah, and people still use, like, Hank Williams as that. I mean, just in terms of the lifestyle, women, booze, the way he died in this real...
Right.
He died young.
So, like, if you want to be a country star, in a way, you're doing an impression of Hank Williams. If when you're doing a rock and roll star, you're doing an impression of Elvis. You're shooting up. You're branching off into different things. Then you get into dope, bad marriages, and luckily, hopefully, you die on the floor somewhere. And then everybody's all happy and deciding that they do love you.
I mean, what's more romantic about, well, not romantic, but Hank Williams died in the backseat of a Cadillac. From drinking too much.
And that's romantic feel. That's a beautiful, sweet thing.
Don't go on a date with Earl.
Poetic is what you're looking
that's
for.
the word I'm looking for.
Hey, Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy, got a question for you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the Elvis of professional wrestling be the greatest intercontinental champion of all time, the Honky Tonk Man?
He was the Elvis impersonator of all time. We can't take that away from him.
I'm going to change my Elvis of wrestling pick.
Well, I thought that you were dead on with it, with the Elvis part.
Yeah, I'm going to say Andre the Giant was the Elvis of wrestling.
No, you had it with Hogan.
You think so?
Yeah, you were wrong when you gave Bruno the Bill Haley thing.
Oh.
But there's no doubt that the Elvis of wrestling was definitely Hulk Hogan. And right now, he's trying to get his daughter started, much like they did so many other things. Here's the lunatic trucker. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, Earl, wouldn't Johnny Cash be the Elvis of country?
Johnny Cash, not a bad call there, Earl.
No, not a bad call at all. But there's just something about Hank Williams. There's just the whole mythology around it. There's just this aura about him that it's very Elvis-like. Elvis had that aura, about this weird light around him.
You're saying Johnny Cash lived too long to be the Elvis of country?
No, if anything, like, Johnny Cash is an icon, don't get me wrong. It's sort of like, he was kind of like the Muddy Waters of country. It's just kind of the elder statesman.
All right, so good. All right, good one. Muddy Waters. I thought of him more as the Howlin' Wolf of country. Here's Andy. Andy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, the Elvis of country music would have to be George Strait.
George Strait, I would put more along the way of maybe he'd be Tom Jones, you know.
I was going to say like a Pat Boone.
All right, Pat Boone, somebody along
Perry
those lines.
Como,
We're going in the same kind of direction. All right, Fez, who would you put as the Elvis of TV?
The Elvis of TV is Johnny Carson.
Earl, who do you got for that?
I would probably say Lucy.
I was thinking Lucy when I first came up with it. Fez spin me out with the Johnny Carson. So I don't know what direction to go with this. Boy, I find myself in a tizzy here. I don't know who to pick. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
I would say if Elvis was alive, he'd shoot that nigger Earl for being so stupid.
Dan.
Yeah.
How do you really feel? Seriously, do you want to apologize?
No, I really don't.
Well, I mean, you know Earl's not stupid, right?
Sometimes he is.
He's not. And there's no use to use a word like that, right?
I like Dave more.
It doesn't matter.
I want Dave to
no matter who you like and who you don't like, you don't use that to our friend, all right?
I'll do what I want.
You would, except for you're not here. And you wouldn't fucking walk into this room and say something like that.
You don't know that?
No, I fucking know it because you know where we are, right? I mean, you're in Rhode Island. We're fucking couple hours away.
I could get there.
Come on down and do that. Then I would suddenly see you as a whole different guy. If you walked in here and said something like that, I would go, this guy Dan is not just a pile of shit that he acts like. He's a whole different guy than I thought. So we'll look forward to seeing you.
Come right down and start smacking faces.
Yeah, you bring it on in, and we'll all see you then. And you'll be the big tough guy from Rhode Island. Dylan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies, comedy. What do you think? I'm thinking Kathy Griffin.
Elvis of comedy. Now, that's a tough way to go. Because comedy, unlike rock and roll, is almost eternal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like being of music instead of just rock and roll. So you'd almost have to pick times for that. To be the Elvis of comedy, you might have to look at somebody like Bob Hope. Even though that you don't find them amazingly funny, they're real mass appeal, TV, movie, stage, bop, bop, bop. Personally, it wouldn't work for me. I'd think of more of a Groucho Marx, but he wasn't as big as Bob Hope. Bob Hope was gigantic. Here's Vinny. Vinny, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, big ass card holder, 8920.
Yeah, you're not hardcore. Go ahead, man.
Sorry about that, man. Milton Berle. If you want to start, from the original part of TV, that's
if I was to say, now you're going for TV or comedy?
TV. I thought that's what we were still on.
All right, we can go back and forth. TV, Uncle Milty was gigantic coming out of the box, Fez.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the innovator, Mr. Tuesday Night.
Didn't sustain, though. That's the problem. I mean, I know the innovator meant he made it up. He didn't. He just took a vaudeville act to Tuesday. Nobody else was on TV. And he couldn't sustain that once there were people coming around. Lucy, on the other hand, was able to keep it going, and Johnny Carson was able to keep it going. Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man. I love the show, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Jazz, Elvis of all time for jazz, Louis Armstrong. Got to be.
Louis Armstrong, not a bad call, Earl.
No, that's a great call. But, I mean, again, he was, he kind of in that same line of Bob Hope. He just kind of, and then he crossed over to film and other things. But there's something, like, just, again, mythical about Miles Davis where he lasted a long time. And I always remember that story from his autobiography. He was at a state dinner, and a woman asked him, she had no idea who he was. She goes, "What did you do?" He goes, "I changed music about 6 or 7 times." And it's an absolute true comment.
Here is the difference, though. You look at Elvis, 30 years dead. People are lining up as we speak right now to see his house, to see where he used to eat lunch at. No one's doing that for Johnny Carson, Lucy, Bob Hope. None of the other names we come up with are as big as the King.
Yeah, going to see a show when he was on Broadway. People went to see the shows.
The president has to take the Prime Minister of Japan to Graceland on a private tour.
Who was on Broadway?
When they had like an Elvis show on Broadway too.
Not with Elvis.
Not with Elvis, but
you had me fucking
Elvis
confused.
music. I'm sorry.
I'm going Elvis on Broadway. This is all new to me. What the hell was he doing? A cabaret?
And they also did something at Radio City with
One needs to fix so Ron and Fez can do their show. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Why won't Wiki fix the telephones? Why won't Wiki? Why won't Wiki? How can you build a pyramid without the callers calling in? How can you give out a big ass prize to losers like me who have no life? The Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Channel 202. Every fucking time they get something good going.
This was the other embarrassing thing when John Mayer came in. He knew who Paranoid was from this damn song. He's like, oh, yeah, sure, Perry. Hey, how are you?
What's up, Pear?
The phones have got to get fixed, Earl. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm already cranky today, but you got to be able to do a show. It's got to happen for you.
You got to make it happen, and I will.
How? Magic? What's it going to be? Fucking magic you're doing?
If I take an axe and dig out the trunk lines myself, I'll do it.
Feel free at this point. It couldn't hurt to throw soda in this system. Couldn't hurt it. American men, they're closing the life expectancy gap with women. Men now live an average of 75.2 years. That's just 5 years less than the average American woman. The gap was as far apart as almost 8 years.
What could sound worse than staying alive longer? I can't think of a worse fate for a man.
So I remember, when it was 70. So it's just, so now the retirement age is going to go up, all that sort of thing.
You remember when it was 20.
Colonial days.
You wouldn't want to live to be 100?
No.
Not at all? I want to live to be 130 so I could see another century change.
And what's that get you? In the meantime, you can't take a piss. You see the fucking calendar they're pulling apart. Everyone hates you and you can't piss. It's nothing you want to deal with, Earl. You want to go out in a fucking blaze of glory like Bonnie and Clyde. Just fucking shooting and getting just all torn up.
Leave a good corpse?
Oh, I know. You want to leave a bullet-ridden corpse. Let the legend go on from there.
I used to think I wanted to live to be 100. Well, we all wanted my grandmother to make it to 100. She was 98 when she died. She was a month shy of 99. But, oh, my God, she was the only one who didn't want to live to be 100, where everyone else was rooting her on. We really wanted to get her that Willard Scott Smucker's Jam thing on the Today Show.
No, my grandfather was 93, and I think he wanted to live to be 100. He was like, hey, I'm here this long. I might as well see 100.
Filming for the final episodes of The Sopranos is set to start next month, but Meadow, AJ, Dr. Melfi, Paulie Walnut, Silvio, and Bobby Bacala still unsigned and asking for huge raises, where apparently they're not even close with what HBO is offering. Just a huge difference there.
Well, I think the world can go on without them all.
They practically wrote off Meadow in this last season, too.
Yeah. What you need to do is it opens up with a big explosion. What happened? Oh, Bobby Bacala, Meadow, Dr. Melfi, and AJ, and Paulie Walnuts were all in there, and it got blown up. I can't believe it.
What was Dr. Melfi and Sil doing together?
This is terrible.
You didn't like that opening? What was it, the first episode where you saw Meadow dancing around in her underwear?
And where did it go from there? I got one dance like, oh, it's sexy Meadow time. Never happened again. Too rough over there?
No, I'm good.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Seth. Seth, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, boys.
Hey, buddy,
there?
what do you got?
Hey, Gleason, definitely Elvis on TV. And also, sorry, if Earl's going to say Lucy, it's definitely Desi Arnaz. He was the brains behind it all.
Yeah, I'm sure people would have watched the Desi show. You know what? He might have been the Colonel Tom. No one ever said Elvis had a lot of brains. He had the charisma. But I don't think the Desi show was ever going to be number one on its own. As a matter of fact, didn't he live his life kind of furious about that?
Yeah, because I think she bought him out because Desilu Productions became like this massive company. Like they did Star Trek and they went to produce all
kinds of sitcoms and stuff.
And he sold her interest early. He had no idea how big the company was going to become, and it just became like this multi-billion-dollar company. He was a little bitter about it.
They were so early on with that too, that they like invented everything that sitcoms use forever, like the 3-camera and just the way of setting it up. And instead of like new ideas, they keep doing the same shit over and over and over on these sitcoms. Ron and Fez show. Next Tuesday, we're going to be hanging out in D.C. And, all right, here's a story for you guys. See if you dig this one, which way you'd fly on it. Jennifer Aniston says she's upset because she called Brad Pitt to congratulate him on the birth of his daughter, and he didn't take the call. She didn't get her call accepted, and she feels like he's insensitive. My point is this. You guys were married. You're not married anymore. Go your separate ways. You have your chance to bitch at this guy while you're still together. Obviously, you don't like him still. That's why you're no longer married. Let him move on, and you move on in your world.
I mean, I understand her trying to call him to say best wishes, congratulations, this is great for you, this is what you wanted. But if it's going to be a magnanimous effort on her part, she has to leave it at magnanimous. If she doesn't get the response she wants, she can't gripe about it. Then that takes any sort of goodwill she was going to throw out there.
Don't even call. Drop it. It's over. Let it go. The new wife doesn't want to hear this. If this was like in normal things, and you hear, oh, you got a call for your ex-wife to say congratulations, that's not magnanimous. The new wife and the new family don't like it. They're upset.
I'm sure she thought she was... See, the problem is she hasn't moved on and Brad has. That's her problem.
She hasn't moved on and Brad has. Where are you on this one, Earl?
Well, I think the best way to move on was not to call.
Not to call.
Don't call. Don't
Leave
call
it alone. Nobody wants to hear from you.
That would have been
the new wife. Let's suppose this isn't them. The new wife is going to be sitting there going, "Who was that?" She wants you back. You're always thinking that shit when you're the new wife.
It's just a little. I mean, women always have that little. They think more into it than actually what it already is.
I mean, let's put it this way, Earl. If your chick just had a baby and her ex guy that she used to be with, that banged her 30 which ways, he calls. Oh, I just wanted to check on you, see if you're all right. You'd be a little fucking put off by that.
I'd be very defensive.
You would not like it. So I don't know what the hell's wrong with this woman. I really don't. Here is Rob. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, I think the Elvis of serial killers would have to be Ted Bundy.
Elvis of serial killers, Ted Bundy.
And the Godfather would have to be Jack the Ripper, because, I mean, everybody just knows what Jack the Ripper did.
Yeah, somewhere you got to put Charles Manson in there, though.
Yeah.
Charles Manson, I don't know where he is, because I guess he's not the standard serial killer, but he is the big payday. He's the guy that everybody goes to. Megan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi. I was calling because I think Dave is funny. He's so stupid, like, he's funny. And
I don't, hold on, I don't know what you're talking about, Megan.
No, you guys always say that Dave is stupid and he shouldn't talk on Thursdays and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Like, no Dave Thursdays? I think he's funny because he's just so stupid that he's funny.
Okay. That was it, honey? Thank you. I think she made a hell of a case for her, man. Alex, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just want to say that the Elvis of XM Radio has got to be Earl because everybody loves the Crazy Coon.
White people are so scared of black people.
I don't want to get into a thing about how the callers blow, but there's nothing funny about these fucking jokes. There really isn't. They're fucking getting on my nerves. If you want to call here and you got something creative that we can all sit around and laugh at, believe me, we'll all be laughing with you. Blade, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, bud?
Good, pal.
You're exactly right, man. You got to cut your ties. There's no use calling. I got an ex that did it 10 years after the fact and does it all the time, and it just causes nothing but fucking shit.
You know what? I got to agree with you. It just doesn't help. If you guys really were as close as you say, stay married. Keep it together.
Exactly. You'd still be there.
But don't try to get involved in the other woman's happiness, because it's no longer about you and him. It's about him and her. He made a choice.
If she wanted to keep the connection to him, she should have had a baby with him.
Kurt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell that guy that Charles Manson never actually killed anybody, did he?
Well, yeah, he killed the one guy, but nobody from Tate LaBianca. There was a guy...
I mean, the whole thing that he was you know, ostracized for. He just played a bunch of people who were ready to be played.
So, Kurt, you're saying let Charlie Manson out of jail?
No.
Earl, call San Quentin. I believe he's still in San Quentin. I'm not sure. Have them swing the gates open and let Charlie Manson out.
I'll call the warden.
No, I don't think so. But I just felt like it was important to. He didn't go down for what he did.
Yeah, that is true. But I do think there was a guy in the desert that he killed. But you're right. Nobody at the Tate LaBianca houses was he accused of killing. He was the guy who set him up. He was the guy who got into their kitchen. He's the one who made it all happen.
Tim Burton's going to make Sweeney Todd into a film with starring Johnny Depp. That's going to happen for DreamWorks.
Who would want to see this? In all honesty, why are these two guys wasting themselves on Sweeney Todd?
I have no idea. Tim Burton just had a project put on hold by Paramount. Him and Jim Carrey were supposed to do Ripley's Believe It or Not, like the story of the Ripley guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing went over budget. It's being rebudgeted and taken off the table for now.
Yeah, well, that kind of stuff happens all the time. But why two guys that are fairly creative, and in the way of Johnny Depp, I'm going to say really creative, why are you still going back to these baby projects and being a part of it? I just don't understand it. It is a waste of time. It is a waste of time. All right, we're getting ready to get out of here. I got a new best friend. I got to go meet John Mayer.
I'll go with you.
Fez, why don't we wait and make sure everything's cool first?
Well, you have my number. Call.
Mm-hmm. Where's the number again? Give it to me.
I got it right here.
All right.
There you go.
Here, I'll hold it right here. I'll keep it in my pocket.
You accidentally tore that.
That wasn't an accident.
It's my number. You're supposed to call me.
Taxi! Take me to John Mayer! Very odd day, wasn't it?
It was very strange.
See you guys tomorrow right after 09. Take care.
Sure.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.